All right. So,
Oh, damn. That's a cute baby.
no cute babies. You're destroying the tone. Supposed to be
Fine.
scared in an unknown year in a jungle.
She's level
In
1
fairness, I am
barbarian.
scared. Yeah, in fairness, I am scared of babies as well.
I mean, terrifying. Little
You
heads
could
are like weeble wobbles.
You could just focus on how metal nature is from last session. So
That's right. We're all just a snack to a giant frog.
After that session, I started noticing when I take my dog out at night, there's just always toads hopping around.
They know.
They're waiting.
And like
The
now I
goal is
notice
to
them.
really induce a bunch of new phobias into your life.
Nailed it.
Okay.
Just waiting for the big ones.
Yeah, the small ones always lead to the big ones. So we don't have. Oh, I need music. Some filler for you. Yeah, this one's good. Okay. So last session we left off at a strange place at a strange time. You guys were traveling through the jungles of Cholt, and during your breaks in the day to get water, you were attacked by a troop of goblins and a Gerblin T-Rex, which you were able to dispatch pretty easily, Atticus blinding it with a cloud of darkness. And then you guys were set upon by frogs when Vosner decided to summon his own frogs to battle the frogs, and a massive frog-on-frog party battle began, and you guys were able to defeat them, including 2 frog-hemoth, giant tentacly frog monsters that tried to grapple and swallow you. After that, you guys continued on towards Camp Righteous, and on your way, speeding through the jungle, you unknowingly passed through a veil of a time bubble and found yourselves thrust into the future or past and into the nighttime, which case you guys promptly landed, lit some of your cast some of your light abilities, and sort of attempted to regroup. Varel, searching the skies, determined that you guys were approximately a month ahead of schedule, or in the future, and yet he was unable to determine what year you guys were, making it difficult to determine whether you are forward in time or backwards in time. And that is where we pick up. You guys are, I believe, still sort of standing there. From your bodily perspective, it's about, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, so you're sort of in this strange spot where it is pitch black out at night, but you are not ready to take a long rest or go to sleep. What are you guys doing?
Sorry, John, what was the very last thing you said about sleep?
It's not your bodily bedtime, even though it's nighttime.
Ah, right. Okay, thanks.
I create a bonfire just to have something to gather around.
Yeah. You guys sit in the dark jungle, and a bonfire is lit, sort of illuminating a large area around you, and you can see sort of it casting shadows into the darkness as the massive trees sort of loom over you.
it might be wise to navigate out of here if it's only a limited area. Am I understanding correctly? That's how this happens. And I look to our not stereotypical paladin friend at all.
Yeah, Atticus just kind of looks at you and it sort of gives an almost like sorry shrug. I mean, yeah. He says, each bubble is different. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm gonna cast Find Familiar, and since I can communicate telepathically with it within 100 feet, I'd have the raven fly a circle at a 100-foot radius from me, just to see if it's dark, within that range.
Yeah. You do so. Roll perception for the raven.
Okay. Would that just be a standard perception roll?
Yeah.
I'll just roll a d20.
I can pull a raven for you.
Ooh. You know what? I'm gonna use my last mistress for a 17.
Okay, 1 second. I'm pulling
Sure.
a raven out of the old. Let's see, not mounts. Minions. Raven has +1 wisdom. So what did you say you were looking for? What number?
I rolled a set. I'm gonna say 17 with the mistress mark.
Got it. So with an 18, the raven. Does it have blind sight? What can ravens do? It doesn't say anything about seeing in the dark. Do ravens in real life have night vision or dark vision?
I would think. I don't know.
Do they hunt at night? Maybe they don't. Maybe they're day birds. Anyways,
I mean, I have an owl familiar that I can send to do the same thing, but I thought it was like it only had dark vision if I had dark vision.
no. It has its own abilities. That's one of the reasons
Oh.
why you use them.
All right, I will bring E out of the pocket dimension as well, and just maybe I'll like walk a little bit off from camp and like light up my sword, so we have 2 beacons.
Yeah.
And try and like cover a little more area, doing the same thing.
Sure. And between the two of you, you send your birds out. I'm just gonna give you. I'm just gonna say, it's a success. You can see, at least with the owl can. I don't know about the raven for sure. You can look it up. You can see around you. It seems to be nighttime everywhere your bird observes. Your birds, I guess.
Atticus is going to turn.
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, Atticus is going to turn to the group and say, Camp Righteous was not long ago fought out of the hands of our enemies. So, if we are in the past, I cannot promise we will not be walking into a trap.
Who were these enemies?
The undead hordes make up much of this island.
Was there any evidence of a party rolling through before we retook Camp Righteous? Before you retook Camp Righteous?
Camp Righteous was taken back by the Order before your friends arrived.
I was talking about us.
Oh, I see. Not to the best of my knowledge. I'm also not sure if that's how time travel works.
We're still 10 miles out from Camp Righteous, it looks like.
Yeah.
Probably best not to walk 10 miles in darkness.
How
Are
long
the
has it
nights
been
worse
since we
than the
slept?
days?
It is like, in your head, it's like 2 or 3 p.m. now.
How much worse? I'll ask Atticus. How much worse are the nights than the days?
It depends very much on how well you can see in the night. Can all of you see perfectly well in the night?
No.
Then they are considerably more dangerous. How
Well-
secure is this tower of which you speak?
He's asking Beryl.
Well, it's made of stone, and in the past I've had no issues with anything. So I would say secure enough.
Yeah, he doesn't say anything, but you can see a look of concern flash across Atticus's face when you say secure enough.
Is a stone tower, seeing that look of concern, I'll say, is a stone tower not sufficient for defense?
It may be, if we're lucky.
We could perhaps all stay on the second story of it, if we're staying.
How long does it take us to walk 10 miles?
At a normal pace, I think we said like 4 hours. But it would be double here, so like 8. So if you left now, you would get there by about 10 p.m. your body time.
It is possible that it is, I guess, late enough that dawn could start to arrive while we make our way to Camp Righteous. We might be able to, I guess, travel stealthily since it is dark, and let those of us who can see go ahead.
Atticus is
Captain.
going to turn. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I agree, Captain. Even if we travel only slowly, it seems progress will be made better, rather than simply sitting and waiting for what happens.
Atticus is going to turn to Beryl and ask, Wizard, can you tell if time is continuing to move just at a different time here? Or has it stalled?
Should I roll for that?
Yeah, roll me Arcana.
Holy shit, Izzy had not considered that as a possibility, and she looks terrified.
Beryl, you look at the stars, and you realize they're not moving.
I'll say to Atticus, well, the stars at least don't seem to be moving. I would assume what's true of them is true of us as well.
Joaf is going to look at Isolde and say, I'm sorry, but I think the dawn may be very, very far off yet.
As in, we are stuck in like a perpetual night?
So it would seem.
Well, and she kind of like seems to take control of her emotions. Then I suppose it doesn't make much sense for us to stay here. It will be just as dangerous now as it will be in 8 hours, and we should try to make our way to Camp Righteous and see if we are at a point in time when there are allies there.
I'll ask the rest of the casters in the group. Does anyone know the spell Dark Vision?
No.
Vero shakes his head no.
I do not, unfortunately.
I'm afraid not. I can create light, but I cannot allow others to see in the dark.
Creating light probably isn't the best plan.
We are, well, before we reach the time bubble, this location would have been right on the edge of the line between where the Order holds and where the Undead hold. Not knowing what year it is, we might be well into enemy lines at this point.
Do you
You
know?
are right that creating fire or light might be dangerous.
Do you know how much farther we are from the threshold?
If we are still in the same time as when we left, maybe 5 miles?
Do we want to try to do just the 5 miles and see what the status is? And then that should take long enough that we'll be ready to rest.
Is he done with that plan?
Your
Vosner would
suggestion
suggest.
going towards enemy lines?
Vosner would suggest that he can cast. What was it? What the heck it was called? Dark Vision on 4 people. And we can fly out of here, or continue to fly out of here because that spell is still active. And it would lessen our need or possibility of running into something that we don't want to run into. If we're in the air, at least.
We could dark vision, as the druid suggests, and fly these 5 miles to what could be the enemy territory, but for what reward are we taking this risk?
I thought we were flying towards camp.
Yeah, Camp Righteous.
Oh, okay. I thought
But
we
we
were
don't
going...
know if it's... We
Gotcha.
don't know if Camp Righteous is enemy territory or not.
Got you.
Yes, Camp Righteous is 10 miles, not the 5. 5 would be to the enemy lines.
Yeah,
About
at
due
least
south.
at least the dark vision would give us an advantage on. Wait, how long does that last? Before I say anything, sorry, trying to juggle a BB in this. It does not say. Oh, it lasts 8 hours, and it's not a concentration spell, so
Wow.
I could do that.
Yeah, and some of you have dark vision. I know Varel does. Does Atticus?
Yes.
Okay, that's 2 of you at least. And I think Damon can see if he uses his owl's perception.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So we could just presume you put your owl on your shoulder and use its eyes effectively.
Just FYI, John, I got booted. I don't know.
Oh.
And it's not letting me sign back in. Just keep saying it can't be reached.
Really? Might be on your end? Because I don't have an error message. And you use Discord for your phone, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, okay, there it goes. It just was being a butt. Sorry, carry on.
No worries. So yeah, if you did Damon using his own owl, Vosner. Oh wait, Vosner doesn't have it himself.
no, I would have to cast it on.
Vosner,
2,
Isolde,
3.
and Terran would need it.
Yes, Yeah, so if
Oh,
you
then I
cast
could
it on yourself, Isolde and Terran. Or if you inhabit a wild shape that has dark vision. It's also an option.
I could be a flying wolf.
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Can you wild shape and then wind walk? I fucking guess you can.
I mean, if I can wild shape and have flame shield.
Yeah, that checks out.
It's
It's just a weird thought of like a giant gorilla that can fly like 600
Actually, I
feet
love it.
around.
This is unlikely to actually be an issue, but can I use a psionic ability as well in gaseous form?
Basically, the rule I've been doing is like people can't talk, or depends on what the ability is, I guess. But
Okay.
for the most part, I've just been having it like you can't cast spells, you can't talk, you can't.
Yeah.
As a way to. But I also made it. If you didn't watch the last session, I've also made it now that you can revert. It only takes one action instead of a minute.
Okay.
So as a sort of a way to like make it so if you run into some shit, you don't just like instant die.
Word.
So Vosner will cast Dark Vision on myself, Izzy, and Terran.
If you can just do it, you might as well to 4. You might as well give it to Damon as well to like
Yeah.
cut out one thing that could go wrong.
I think it's a spell slot.
Yeah. So that's why I was asking who wants it. So
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
never mind.
Then no. Then I'll use
If you have
E.
to cast it 4 times.
yeah. And it's good for 8 hours. So effectively we have a range of 60 feet of vision. I would also suggest while we're here, getting just restocking on our water so we can just make it without having to stop again.
Good call.
How are you restocking on water?
We're right by the water's edge, correct?
Yeah, are you getting water from the river?
I thought we were creating water.
Okay. I think.
Yeah.
Atticus can purify some also if you need it.
I created 10 gallons of it last time we landed, so I think that should be sufficient.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay.
So are we planning on just popping up 5 miles and down just as like information gathering?
Well,
So
I would suggest if we can avoid a fight, then do that. But
Are you going to Camp Righteous or are you going south?
I think towards Camp Righteous.
Okay.
If it turns out that Camp Righteous is no more, Camp Vengeance is 40 miles beyond and has been established some considerable time longer. That may be a safer option if Righteous has fallen.
So did I misinterpret what you were saying? Because like what I got was like if we go 5 miles towards Camp Righteous, we'll be able to figure out whether or not.
No, he was
It's
saying 5 miles to the south or
Oh, I
east
thought
is where
he
the
had
line
like.
is.
I thought there was like a 5 mile line outside of Camp Righteous that would have been secured.
No, it's like we're right on the edge of enemy territory.
Okay, I thought like before we secured Camp Righteous would be counted as enemy territory, so we'd know in 5 miles. But
Yeah, I mean, maybe, or maybe it's just fine. We don't really know yet, I think is the thing. Like,
Yeah.
because not knowing whether we went forward or backward or any of that kind of stuff.
I just thought there was like 5 miles of or outside of Camp Righteous would tell us. But if I misinterpreted
Yeah, no.
that, then
No.
everything I've said since then is nonsense.
I don't know about everything, but
also, Atticus, since we were sort of in a rush the last time, what are some of the signs if we were to look for these bubbles? I can only imagine that they're somewhat detectable.
yeah, actually, I don't know, John. Is that something Atticus would know?
Sorry?
the question was, are there signs that you can look for the bubbles? Is that actually something Atticus would know?
For Atticus has for the most part avoided them, as they are visible to the naked eye when you are traveling at a normal pace. You can sort of see a distortion bubble, and so Atticus has spent most of his life dodging them. I would say we haven't really drawn up any moment in your past where you encountered one, so it wouldn't be surprising if we did, so if you wanted to homebrew that real quick. But I would say for the most part, most people get out of them by walking out of them. But it, sometimes
Right. Well, I
it
think the
takes-
question was how to tell if you're about to go into one.
Oh,
Like, is there a sign that you can look
yeah,
for?
there's like a shimmer.
Yeah, Atticus will relay that information.
It looks much like an actual bubble in many ways. The surface is, shimmery, much like the surface of a bubble. But it is easy to miss if you travel too quickly.
Well, I suppose we not fly or travel near as fast and see maybe if we can find the edge of this. It'll help us train our eyes anyway.
Okay, so you've cast night vision, or dark vision, on all the people. Everybody can now perceive the jungle. It is still filled with life and sounds and constant motion, things moving around as you walk through these kind of trails that go alongside the river. You guys are just headed straight to Camp Righteous?
Yeah, probably best not to dilly-dally.
Okay, I need somebody to roll survival.
Damon has extinguished his sword, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, are you guys going with lights on or no lights?
No.
No lights.
Okay, so just go in covert. Okay, roll, and are you traveling at the speed of Windwalk, or are you walking?
I think we're windwalking.
Yeah, Windwalk will get you there in like 20 minutes, and walking on foot will take you 8 hours.
Yeah, I think windwalking was the plan.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we're already in the bubble. It's like best case scenario, we'll just pop right out of it somewhere. So might as well move quick. Unless we get a inception bubble into a bubble.
What? That'd be so crazy.
Put the bubble in, the bubble takes us back to our regular time.
So, windwalking then?
Yep.
Okay. Somebody roll me perception with disadvantage, and then somebody roll me survival
I can do that.
with I'll just say just regular survival.
Can we add Atticus's +6 to the survival?
Yes, yeah, okay. Which is good because you notice Bosner is sort of like following a path, but he ends up following it like down like a natural forest path, which starts to lead you away from your territory. And Atticus, sort of in in shimmery form, is able to keep you guys on the right path. Yeah, I will say it's a little bit tricky to keep track of each other, as you are like ethereal in the darkness. But you manage to make it through. Your perception roll. Yeah. Okay. So, is there any other thing? No, we're doing. Oh, another thing I need to do. Everybody roll 1d20 for me. I forgot to do this last time.
are not good rolls.
Or very good rolls, depending on, how you feel about these rolls. Okay, so Veyrol gets a 4. Veyrol, roll 1d12 for me. Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Cool. Hang on. I think I don't have advantage on that, do I?
Highly unlikely.
Oh, I gain proficiency in Constitution saving throws.
Yeah, which is why
but that-
it's very high for you.
Whew.
A gift. All right, Dylan, you have. Just keep track of this for me. You have a slight fever, and that means you gain a level of exhaustion, and yes, you feel hot. So record that. 1 point of exhaustion, and you feel hot.
Okay.
I think to make this more, I'm trying to think of if it might get really hard for me to keep track of all these. But we'll just start there. If we have 5 people with 5 different diseases, then I'll just tell you which ones you have. Okay, Feral Atticus, you are immune to disease. Damon, make a Constitution saving throw. Or wait, sorry, roll a d12. Oh yeah, you're immune to disease as well, because you're a robot. My bad. Okay, so that was
That's dope.
Veyrol, Atticus, Terran, Damon, Isolde. Did Vosner not roll? Oh, he did eventually. Got it. Oh, Terran, roll a d12. Sweet. Fire. Huh.
Does my
Severe.
resistance to poison do anything?
It does not. I'm trying to see what. Okay. Oh, so this doesn't affect you mechanically yet, but you have severe itching
Oh no.
and bumps under your skin. Like under your scales, there are like boils popping up.
Oh no.
But it doesn't affect you in any mechanical way. And so I'm gonna say, just for narrative's sake, you had those things. No, I'll just give them to you now. I was thinking I should have done that roll earlier today, but I didn't. Anyways, so yes, you're itching, and Daryl has a fever. That checks out. Okay, so you guys are running through the dark forest, and you finally make your way to the outskirts of Camp Righteous. And as you look upon it, you can see fires lit in the distance, sort of like torch fires, like a perimeter to the camp. But you cannot see, from this distance, any movement in the camp. What do you do?
Seems like is it fires like buildings on fire, or
No,
fires,
like torches.
intentionally?
Like tiki torches.
Do we want to
See that?
land before we get there and then approach on foot?
Aye.
Probably.
So land at the outskirts and revert back.
Okay. You guys convert to your normal form and are now standing at the outskirts of the camp. Do you go inside of it? Oh, and as you land, Beryl, you feel the fever upon you and notice black pockmarks on your skin, similar to what Bosner had earlier today. And Taryn, you feel like an itchy rash all over your body.
Alright, start scratching.
Yeah, given that our squad leader is a cleric, I'll approach her, mention the fever, and show the spots, and ask if any restoration is available.
Can I make a medicine check?
Yep. I'll say with advantage because you've seen it before.
Oh, thank God.
Good.
Oh.
Fuck me.
You're like, I think you're doing fine.
Really?
Taryn will
No,
come
no.
up.
You would know, like, this looks like the thing you saw earlier today.
Alright, yeah. I'll cast Lesser Restoration on him.
Okay, it clears up. You still maintain the point of exhaustion, however.
Awesome.
Taryn will show her the itching, like the scratches, or the bumps, the rash.
Good. Something new. Do I presume it is similar that I can...
Yeah, that is just
Okay.
another jungle disease. Could you guys imagine running this at like level 4?
Would be dead already.
So
Yeah.
dead. I wouldn't have attacked you with a Gerblin T-Rex at level 4 though.
Giant toad frogs, yes. But
Yeah, well, not a froghemoth though.
I've already used all my level 2 spell slots on restoring people.
We're very thankful.
Okay, so on the outskirts of the camp, which you can kind of see in the distance, the little lights from the fires, or at least the torches. What all are you doing?
Seems like a good sign. I don't think that the undead necessarily need to light torches. Should we perhaps just approach quietly? Or we could send maybe one of the familiars ahead?
sounds good.
This is wise.
I'll turn invisible and with my boots of elvenkind kind of follow behind the familiars.
Okay. So the familiars come into camp, because it's lit with torches standing tall, like 8-foot tall torches. It is well lit enough that your raven can see, and also Beryl, you just walk in. And with the owl, you guys can see a fully stocked camp with supplies and beds and tents. You know, sort of all in the heart of this jungle, so everything's a little bit overgrown. But it looks like a fully functioning camp, but there is nobody there.
Okay. I'll back out, say to the group, it's stocked with contemporary supplies and goods, so I don't think we're too far afield from what once was the present. But nonetheless, nobody is in the camp.
Is it still nighttime? Well,
Yep.
yeah, I guess we already have it.
Perhaps it is simply because we are frozen in time while they are not.
Are you suggesting that because we are frozen, we won't meet anyone while we're in this bubble?
I don't know. Perhaps unless others wander into the same bubble. These time bubbles are less of a science and more of an art.
I'm gathering that. Well, at least we can stock up on supplies, and I don't know, maybe there are books or notes or something about what the undead are doing around here. They might even have a map of time bubbles at this particular time. We should explore.
When you went into the camp, you said the torches were lit, right? Did the fire look like it was dancing like normal, or is it frozen?
It's dancing.
Okay, so still existing.
Yeah.
In
Still
time,
burning.
but... Yeah. Okay.
The rest of the jungle seems to be alive around us.
Okay. I guess we have to be on our guard then.
What
Let's
kind
go.
of buildings are here? Yeah, let's poke our head into the first barracks or whatever.
Okay, so there's no barracks. It's mostly just like a camp with like tents and supplies and like some stone walls from an old ruin that are clearly used as sort of battlements or at least protection, like cover in cases of combat. But it's very simple. You get the feeling that this is really just a place for people to sleep and eat and protect one another in between treks. If you remember, moving through the jungle on foot takes a very long time, upwards of 12 miles a day if you're traveling well and not getting lost, which it's very easy to get lost in this jungle. So the fact that it's 40 miles away means it's 4 days of travel away from the other camp normally for normal people. So anyways, from all of that you can deduce that this is just merely a waypoint, a more established, more well protected and better established supply point in between the major cities and Camp Vengeance, as it is easy to run out of supplies and die along the way to Camp Vengeance.
Can we do like investigation checks over like where the people might be, like footprints and stuff?
You step in, roll investigation for me.
It'd be great.
You determine that there are a number of footprints here. It looks like quite a few people have been camped here lately. That there's a lot of foot traffic, and with a 16, you think that they maybe left recently, within like a day or so. You look through the camp and realize that there's some uneaten food sitting in a tent, as though somebody was merely just about to sit down for dinner.
Okay. Does it look like from the foot traffic that there was like a exodus, or is it more like there was people here for a while and then they poofed away?
Yeah. With the 16, there's too much traffic for you to discern anything.
Okay.
But you point this out to the rest of the group.
Yeah, the more Atticus sort of hears of what you guys are seeing and looks around and sees himself, like the more you can tell he's getting very on guard and like unhappy.
Yeah. Atticus, make a perception roll for me.
Here we go.
Nothing. Never mind.
Nailed it.
Is
He's too
anyone
upset
else
to be seeing clearly.
investigating the camp, or are you all just standing around?
No, I think let the guy with no intelligence do all the investigating. It's the right call for our group.
I mean, Damon's like looking around, seeing what he can determine from just like, the firelight in the camp. But he's gonna stick close to Isolde, in case a fight breaks out.
So
or
are
there's
you
an
trying
ambush
to
or something.
discern what's going on with the camp, or are you just trying to be on the lookout?
I'm just trying to be on lookout.
Okay, roll perception.
I like how we've all chosen to do skills that aren't with our proficiencies.
I
Yeah,
am
there's-
looking for any like written notes, like if there's any journals by any of the bedrolls or maps.
Roll an investigation for me. Cool. Yeah, you find a journal in one of the tents, and it's like a personal daily journal of a guy describing his ventures into the jungle and all the stuff he's seen, about some girl that he's sort of into at the port, but she's married. It's a whole thing. It's kind of dramatic for him.
Nice. Is it dated?
Yeah, you look through the dates and realize that the last entry was from 28 days into the future.
Oh. I will call Atticus over and share the journal with him and inform him of this.
This is troubling when coupled with the absence of anyone else in this camp.
Are you aware of like any sort of expedition they were all planning on going on, or
Never one which they would send everyone in the camp. The only situations I can think of in which everyone would leave the camp would be if they were forced to flee, or if word came that Camp Vengeance was under attack and they had to go and defend her. Beyond that, I can't imagine why everyone would be gone at once.
perhaps it would be wise of us to go and see if we need to lend our strength to Camp Vengeance then.
At the very least, it would be a more secure location, I suppose. Assuming it hasn't fallen.
I'll tuck the journal into my bag. Sorry, dude, stealing your diary.
Bayroll, what are you doing at this moment?
Kind of just standing, watching the squad figure things out, kind of waiting for instructions, not really sure what to do.
Okay. With your passive investigation, which is your just ability to discern stuff, you notice that one curious thing about this camp is that there is a wagon, but it's overturned. Like the empty part of the wagon, like the back of it, is actually upside down on the ground. And it sort of looks like it was done that way on purpose, but it also is kind of a strange thing for a wagon to be upside down.
Seeing that, could I send my familiar over there and use its ears to see if I hear anything scuttling under the wagon?
No. Oh, no, you can't. Yeah, you do that, and you don't hear anything. But I'm gonna say, do ravens have a sense of smell?
Let me go back to that Wikipedia.
You should probably look at like the monster in 5e, but
It's pretty. It's weak at best in corvids.
okay, never mind. Your bird is unable to discern anything.
Yeah, I will silently try to get Isolda's attention and gesture towards the overturned wagon and kind of like raise an eyebrow, like that's suspicious.
I'll nod and turn to Damon, who I assume is always next to me. And
Yes,
say,
that's accurate.
perhaps you could go and investigate that overturned wagon?
At
And I'll
once,
go with
Captain.
him.
And Arm's gonna flip the sword out and light it up, since there's torchlight anyways. And I will approach the wagon.
Yep, it's flipped over,
I'm gonna like investigate and see if I can determine like was there a struggle, like what might have flipped over this wagon.
Okay, investigate. Yeah, with a 15, you can discern that it was pushed over. Kind of quickly. There was damage done to the wagon in the process.
It seems that the flipping of this wagon was a hurried affair. There was not caution used when flipping it over. Perhaps some small raiding party or something of that nature.
Am I picking up on anything passive perception wise? Is there like blood marks on it anywhere?
Um,
Funky smells.
I will say, yeah, as you get closer to the wagon, you do smell like the smell of rotting flesh. Or at least the smell of something that recently died.
I think there might be someone or something that was once a someone under the wagon. If you could maybe lift it up and I could look.
Yeah, I'll like grab a hold with my ogre gauntlets and try and just lift it as high as I can.
Yeah, make an athletics check for me.
Could I hold momentary stasis in case something
Sure.
like starts to move? Okay.
Yeah, Feyroll stands over it, casting momentary stasis. Normally when you hold a spell, you essentially cast it and then release it if the criteria are met. And so
Okay.
if that thing has like limited uses, then I would put yeah. So he flips it over and all of you sort of circle around. You see the badly beat up corpse of a woman in plate armor with a it looks like a shit. I'm trying to think of what it's called. It's across her eyes. Her eyes are covered with why can't I fucking think of it? A blindfold. Jesus Christ. Underneath the cart is a woman in plate armor with a blindfold across her eyes, and she appears not to be breathing or moving.
Will Atticus see this?
Yeah, I'll say he would notice then the cart's being pushed over.
Yeah. So in a sort of uncharacteristic move for him, you see horror flash across his face, and he pushes you guys out of the way and drops down next to her, like laying a hand on her forehead.
And at that, Bosner, you with your high passive perception, and Isolde as well, notice that a mist is beginning to fill the camp. A cloudy, sort of swirling fog is beginning to descend on the camp.
I'll speak that out and say, be on your guard. There's fog coming in, and I'll back up, sort of closer to Isolde and the folks, and I will turn into a wolf. Or no, I'll turn into. How many did I use my wild shapes today? I don't remember.
Used a wild shape
Did I
to turn
use
into an elemental to fight the T-Rex, and then
Okay.
I don't know if
Be
you turned
rested.
into anything. Oh, you turned
we
into a
rest?
scorpion to fight the frogs. But then we did have a short rest, so you should have one wild shape back.
I should have two.
Two back. Okay. So what do you turn into?
I will turn into a wind elemental.
Okay.
So it's that familiar, sort of like version, like it's like me only bigger and windwalk, and it's like with the fall leaves on it.
Okay. Are any of you responding to Atticus finding this person on the ground?
Yeah. Izzy would walk up, like, beside him, just to see, like, first of all, if he's casting anything on her, and second of all, if she can discern, medically what killed this woman, or why she would be wearing a blindfold.
Okay, roll medicine. Okay. You discern that she was beaten to death and suffered from internal wounds as well as some external wounds. She's got blood all over her. You get the feeling that she was in battle, and her wound or her blindfold over her eyes does not look. Well, it does not look new. It looks like something that she's worn for quite a while.
Did you know her?
Before responding to you, almost as if to himself, you hear Atticus mutter,
If she is fallen, there may be no hope for us.
and then he kind of shakes himself and looks up at you.
This is Hildy, the commander of Camp Righteous, or what's left of her. She was the most remarkable person in the Order.
I am sorry for your loss. I would assume then that the battle occurred here, and I don't know, that is all the more concerning as to where the other members of the camp are.
Isolde, as you say that, you hear footsteps as a twig snaps out in the forest just beyond your vision in the dark.
I will kind of instinctively like reach out and grip Atticus' shoulder to kind of like draw his attention. And say, I think it is likely that they have joined the ranks of the undead. And she'll kind of like look over at everyone else, like not really sure whether or not to make noise to draw attention, and she's kind of frozen there for a second.
And as you got... Oh, sorry.
While that's happening, can I Arcana check the mist to see if it's magical or not?
Yeah, do a quick Arcana. It doesn't seem magical, like coming from a spell, but it also seems supernatural. It seems like a very strange, sort of like, from your knowledge of weather and nature, like it seems odd.
It's not magical, but it's not natural.
Correct.
Okay.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah, Taryn will point that out to whoever is like next to him. He won't like announce it, but he'll say it like quietly to anybody nearby. I assume he's not like clustered around the wagon, so like if to the people who aren't at the wagon.
Vera will pull his shirt over his nose so as not to breathe it in. Or his robe, I guess.
And the footsteps that you heard, Isolde, begin to enhance as you now hear multiple footsteps running through the jungle, coming right for you.
She's gonna call out to everyone. We are being ambushed.
And we are going to combat.
Let's do it.
Close would you say everyone is, like, around her?
About this close. You guys see all this?
Yep. Ooh.
Nice.
Jungle Zop.
Yep.
I think
What could that be?
probably when she said that, then she would cast Beacon of Hope. And so she would be able to get everyone in it.
Can we do like a round before they get to us? Or are we just in turn order?
So I let Bosner turn into an elemental form. And I was kind of assuming people might cast preventative stuff, but then you were investigating the fog, so I feel like that was
Okay.
kind of your thing. Not to step on your toes.
No, that sounds cool.
Was anybody else doing anything preparatory?
If we could, I'd like to cast Time Slice.
What's that do?
Makes the duplicates of myself.
Oh, yeah.
Bam.
Can I do the Beacon of Hope or no?
Yeah. I'll say that, because you have high perception, so you would have seen it coming. And Damon, you still have to roll initiative.
Yeah, my system is potatoing out on me, so if you want to roll it for me while I try and get it going again.
Sure. Oh, you go second.
Right on. I'll try and make this quick.
All right. Yeah. Veyroll. Oh, you know what? Because you all have dark vision. And what's the dark vision set to? What's the range on that? It's got to be
I think
far.
60 is default, and I'm at
Yeah.
120 because of the robes.
Yeah.
Atticus 120 also, and it's
I
normal
think-
vision. Yeah.
It's
I think
60.
the spell was 60, yeah.
Yeah, that's almost the
Yeah.
entire map. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna increase the light. Now you guys can see everything.
Oh my god.
It's not bad. Could be worse.
No, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay. Veyroll casts. Oh, you cast Time Slice. That was your prep thing. What do you do on your first round?
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, let me throw some fucking music at you.
I'm suspicious necrotic damage isn't going to do much good on a zombie, so let me think of something else here.
We only get
Oof. Need more AoE spells. So just to get a feel for things, I'm going to target the zombie here to the east, and I'm going to chrono spike it. Oh, they're pretty tough. Okay. I actually say out loud, oh, they're pretty tough.
Yeah, and they're
So-
running fast.
Oh boy. Okay.
Jesus.
Okay. So you hurl a chrono spike at one just to try to knock it down, and it just keeps coming.
Oof.
Damon, are you in yet?
Not yet. Hang on. I'm trying one more thing.
So we probably don't notice this in character, but Hildegard is in the turn order, and that's terrifying.
Oh, sorry. That was unintentional.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Sure.
Yep. She's not there. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, I think it's loading now.
Yay.
Yay. I don't know why I can't see anything.
Have you disabled like the super advanced stuff in the configure settings?
Well, I haven't because like I have a pretty solid desktop.
Oh, okay.
I just wasn't playing on, but like it's like I can't see anything. Like, okay, hang on, wait, here it comes.
Yeah, it might take a sec to load.
Yeah, because for a minute, like the only thing on my screen was like the anvil that's in the top left.
Oh, weird. Yeah, sometimes it takes a while to load. I'm
Okay. Okay. I can see things now. All right. Well, if they're gonna be fast, I guess I'll want to be fast.
Nice.
And then, I actually think I'm just going to maybe run up, take a swing at this guy.
Okay.
Oh, the game is paused.
My bad.
No, I'll just run up, swing at this guy. One time.
Yeah. You slash him deep, he's almost dead.
And then I am going to. Oh man. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna run back.
Okay. He's going to attack of opportunity. He swings and misses.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's my turn this round.
Nice.
Fuck, that's a lot of zombies.
Okay. This jungle zombie is going to run at Terran and claw twice. Hitting twice. This jungle zombie is going to move 40 and then 15 more. And that's his turn. Oh shit, Monster's not actually there. He'll move that far. And then that far will be full movement and dash. This zombie runs up and attacks enemies. And misses. Bosner, it is your turn. If I make Bosner invisible, does that fuck your vision? Can we try this?
I don't know.
How are you doing? Did I just destroy everything?
No, everything is fine.
Okay, cool. Then I'm making you invisible. So I don't have to, like, forget that you're not a character.
Nice. Okay, so I am here. And alright, I am also having, here we go. Cool. Let's see, I have a shit ton of movement here.
Don't leave me here.
I'm just trying to see, I don't want to get you in my attack. Okay, so I'm going to move on top of these zombies, if I'm reading the spell correctly.
Okay.
And I'm going to whirlwind attack them.
Okay.
So, just for the sake, I am on top of those zombies, and I'm going to target these two buds. Here and here.
Okay, yeah. Try it out.
Then...
Oh, they both succeed.
Dang. Well, they're not knocked prone.
Wow, what are the odds of that? Okay, yeah, they both succeed. Oh, I guess it's only DC 13 strength.
Yeah. They must think they're flung 20 feet away. Okay. All right. So they're still there, or let's see. Bludgeoning damage.
Oh, they don't actually take that damage. Because it's...
No, the target takes half the damage and isn't flung away or knocked prone. If you read the long form of the spell on my character sheet. they still take damage.
Oh. On a failure.
So they stay there, but they do get half that damage. So that should be
Yep,
calculated
you're right.
out.
Cool. Yeah, so you try to knock them down, and they withstand your gust and are not blown over. Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah, and then I guess I will come back over there.
Okay.
I probably will take an attack of opportunity, but I don't know.
This zombie jumps over this stuff, and that's his full movement. Isolde, it's your turn.
All right. Well, we are in this situation now. So she is going to clutch the holy symbol that she took from Father Mateo and turn undead.
Ooh. All right.
Hopefully destroy undead.
Okay. So each undead that can hear you within 30 feet of you makes a wisdom save. Okay. So do that again, but click all the targets within 30 feet of you. So let me drop a thing for you. So all of these, feel free to target all of the ones in your radius. And then click to see if they save. Okay.
So as long as they are under CR2 or CR2 or lower, if they failed, they die.
Awesome. All of them failed, it looks like. So all of them die.
Nope.
Wow.
Oh my. That changes things.
Did you target the one up top too, or no? I can't tell.
I did not.
Okay.
It looked like it was kind of just out.
I'll say that top one was in enough, but the other three were not. Okay. Yeah. So you, what's it look like when you raise your holy symbol?
So her previous beacon of hope thing was a very small kind of glow that just made the area feel a little bit more warm and not so desolate. And it just turned super intense and burst out in a 30-foot radius and disintegrated these zombies and then returned shoop back to her.
Yeah. That's sick. Taryn.
And then I'm gonna cast Spiritual Weapon.
Ooh, nice. Taryn, it is your turn.
Alright, seeing that, with the guy on him no longer alive, he'll back towards the group and then cast a fireball at 3rd level, but he'll convert it to cold. Throw it right there.
Yeah. You obliterate all of those zombies.
That'll be it then.
Okay. Atticus, it is your turn.
Alright. Atticus takes another look down at Hildy. And then he's going to move. So weird playing a character who can only move 30 feet in a turn. Yep. And he's going to cast Conquering Presence, which is his channel divinity.
Sure.
And it's within 30 feet, so unless I'm mistaken, that gets all of these fuckers.
Yeah, cast into the chat for me. Okay. 30 feet or a wisdom saving throw. So let's do, and that's DC.
18.
Okay. Fail. Ooh, success. Let me put feared.
The one brave little zombie.
Yeah. Alright, shit. You fear all of them but one, it looks like.
Nice.
Nice. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's gonna be it for now.
Do they get to make that save again at the end of their turn?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Scourge zombie doesn't move towards you. Wisdom save. Stays scared. This zombie is going to run at Atticus and give him the claw. Crack.
I'm gonna hellish rebuke him.
Okay. Feel free to do that. I'm just gonna keep running the other zombies while you're doing that. 35. Let's dash. This zombie does not move. And stays feared. This one. Dash. Wisdom save. Still scared. That would be like 8 things attacking you right now if you hadn't done that. What a pro move. A pro gamer move. Can't catch it. Skills. Wisdom. No success. Do. Okay. He failed. This guy wasn't scared though, and he is going to try to tackle you. Make an athletics roll.
Just straight.
Oh, never mind. It's impossible for you to lose. Yeah, I mean, I guess if you get a 1 and your modifier's lower, but it's, yeah, athletics against his athletics.
Yeah, I have a +2 to athletics, so I think we're good.
No, if you get a 1, he'll beat you.
Oh shit! All right, let's do it.
Oh, you succeed. So as a jungle zombie comes to try to tackle you, and you just sort of like deflect him with your shield. This one is gonna check for wisdom. Oh, he no longer scared. That's the end of his turn, though. This zombie coming all the way here. That is the first round. At the end of the first round, more zombies begin to pile out of the jungle.
Oh no.
them into zombies.
Yeah, I heard you guys like zombies, so have to roll some new initiatives. Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh my god. My screen's all dice.
And with that, I'm gonna go Pete. Daryl, you're up next.
Cool. I'm gonna sit here and panic. Let's see. Man.
Don't panic, just don't mess this up.
And I thought the goblins were a horde. This is crazy.
So way
They're-
too many.
Zombies, necrotic damage. Are they
I have
resistant?
2 more uses of Turn Undead. But then I won't have any preserve life abilities for the rest of the day.
If I can get them to swarm me, I'll smack them with destructive wave and make it radiant.
Nice.
That would be
we
cool.
I like
How
to
are you
think
feeling,
that Izzy
Karen?
feels like a little pride whenever
I've got-
David uses radiant damage.
I've got spells for now, but like, if this is the horde, I'm fine. If there's like 3 more waves of this, I'm gonna be running out of spells.
Do you want to be not in the middle of zombies?
I'm fine.
Okay.
I mean, I can.
Otherwise,
handle
Damon's
these
going to
guys.
use a tendril and just like pull you out of there.
I mean, I could teleport you as a bonus action and still do my thing. Up to
Where would
30
you
feet away.
teleport me to? I'm cool with that. Yeah. Like, if I can get out without using a spell, I'm down with that.
Yeah.
But like, I can also get out fairly easily.
I can
Sweet.
put you over here behind Isilda if you would like.
That'd be pretty cool. Thanks for having my back.
Oh, remember that one time in the Abyss where I'm like, protect the casters, and you guys almost all died?
Yeah.
You still live in
Vividly.
that trauma. Still live in that trauma. So- So this is going to be fine.
Yeah,
Someone
we'll be
just
alright.
needs to summon a whole bunch of smaller zombies to fight these zombies.
You need a necromancer.
Yeah.
I can make zombies.
What? Aren't you a life cleric?
Yeah, I don't think she would, but she
Well,
can.
Life is defined by its adjacency to death, so.
It's true.
Oh no, I didn't mean to cast that. Whoops. I don't think it did cast.
Uncast it. Uncast it.
I don't know how to cancel a spell.
Carefully.
Ooh, that's gnarly.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to work on zombies as well as I want it to, but it's the only AoE spell that I have.
And that's a
That's-
60-foot radius.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Yeah, that'll get all of these guys.
Yeah.
Remember that time where Atticus muttered to himself that if Hildegard was slain, that we were fucked. There was no hope for us.
Uh-huh.
I thought you were going to take that back.
No, I think he's feeling like a little bit of like vindication. Like, yeah, I was right. We're about to all die.
What a
Yeah, I
smug,
similarly was
righteous
waiting for you to be
bastard.
like, but these people are so good. Maybe he was wrong. Nope.
Technically not our fault. So
I don't know, between our paladin and our warforged and our elemental, like, you guys can get up close and dirty, and then the rest of us as spellcasters can probably do some damage. I think we can get through this.
Like, it depends on, like, how John has it set up. If it's set up that, like, every round there's, like, 9 new ones
Ooh.
until we run away. But if there's just, like, 3 waves, we can take it.
I don't know. I think Vosner will be fine since I'm immune to pretty much all the damage.
You'll be the last one standing. Just this wisp of wind battling zombies for eternity.
Pretty much.
Until, like,
don't-
the spell runs out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Until
yeah.
I actually don't think they can hit me until I run out of spell slots. Because of my adamantine armor and shield.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they can't crit you either, right?
Yeah.
But, like, does
So
a
that's the only
20
thing they wouldn't
auto
be able
hit
to-
you even, but doesn't get you crit damage, or is it just nothing?
I'm not sure because I don't think it's happened where like I've been like hit for a crit but had it come in under my AC since getting the
Okay.
adamantine armor. So that's a John question, I think.
Got it.
Also, has this been within 8 hours of me casting Windwalk, or no?
I don't think so, because I think John said it would take us like 20 minutes wind walking to get to the camp. So I wouldn't imagine that it has been.
Yeah, but throughout the day. So I'm just thinking about.
I think he said like according to our circadian rhythm, it's like 3 p.m.
Okay, so we're still in the middle of the day. So if things get bad, we could essentially
to
take
Run
a round
away!
to try and run away. Yeah. So we have.
But doesn't
that
it take us a
kinda just-
while to go into wind form?
Is it a round or is it?
I think it was a minute to go in
It's
and then
a
an
minute.
action to go out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I don't want to be just wailed on by zombies for a minute.
we will die.
Climb a tree, right? Zombies don't like climbing trees. You know that.
It's a well-known zombie fact.
I was gonna say, man,
What
zombie
time,
apocalypse, get in a treehouse, you're safe. They can't climb ladders.
Yeah.
We just raise our civilization 12 feet above the ground, and it's like, zombie apocalypse, who cares?
It's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah.
It's also true that they're more afraid of you than you are of them.
That's what I found. They're like centipedes, like disgusting and evil. But
Alright, back. Sorry about that. Do you have enough time to plan something out?
I think so.
Alright, Viral.
We did, but we didn't. We just talked about other stuff.
Perfect.
I couldn't figure out how to cancel Circle of Death, but I'm going to cast it again anyways, so
Okay,
I don't think it did anything.
fair enough. Yeah, it hasn't applied anything yet.
Excellent. The game is still paused.
Okay.
Thanks, sir. Let's try this again.
Can you tell me where you're putting it? Before you put it somewhere?
Alright, I can describe it. I was going to put it way top right so that it gets just about everybody in the northeast part of the map.
Okay, before you place it... Now feel free to place it.
Okay. I'm nervous about Hildegard too, but since she's dead, I'm going to include her in the area of effect here. Bang. Nice.
Jesus. And this is why we use fucking Foundry. Because if I had to do that shit manually, I would have quit. Yeah, sick. You dropped this huge... Well, I guess you can describe it, sorry.
Yeah, it's already pretty dark, but even through your dark vision, you see like abysmal darkness just descend and envelop the whole area. And if you were in there, you would feel the temperature drop and the sound muffle. It's just this all-encompassing darkness falls and crushes the zombies.
Yeah, let me read this spell. Okay, so it's just a one-time boom, right?
Yeah.
Thank
Oh, and
God.
Varel pulls out a pearl from his satchel and crushes it with his index finger and thumb to cast it.
Oh, does it consume a pearl?
A crushed black pearl worth 500 gold points.
What?
Yeah. So I'm gonna take away a
And
pearl from my inventory.
it doesn't say consumes it, does it?
Yeah.
It says crushed, so I assume it's.
But you just need to keep that powder with you, I think.
Oh.
Yeah,
Because
that's
the powder is the actual component.
Okay.
Yeah, and usually it
But
says
the act of crushing it to do it is a dope idea.
yeah. Usually when it comes to spells like that, it says which is consumed by the spell.
Okay.
When you, I mean, we can Google it. You can just Google Circle of Death and see if it says
Yeah.
anything.
Well, nonetheless, the first time it's been cast, this is the inaugural crushing, so.
Sick. All right, yeah.
Very
Let
cool.
me delete that AOE, and it is Damon's turn.
I'm just gonna move a little bit up.
Oh
here.
yeah, you do.
Ooh, cool.
By the way, it doesn't seem to kill the zombies, but it does fuck them up.
We take those.
I'm just gonna do a fireball down this way.
Nice.
And then he uses the action surge and charges up an even stronger fireball and launches it up this way.
Yeah. When you said an even stronger fireball, did you upcast it? Oh, you
Yeah,
did?
because I didn't
Just-
have
You
I didn't
upcast
have,
it, but it rolled shit.
yeah. Because I had to. I didn't have any third level spell slots.
Oh,
So.
that's funny.
It is
your
what it is.
your first fireball.
I know, that one, like, laid them all out.
So hard. It was like all sixes.
And then I will just now knowing like, Captain's fine. She's got her own shit to deal with zombies. I'll sprint down this way.
Sure.
And take a swing.
Wait.
Uh,
Did you? You did action.
I
surge.
used action surge to do 2
Nice.
fireballs, yeah.
Okay, sick. I like it. Captain's fine.
And that'll do it.
Nicely done. Okay, this zombie is dead. I'm just gonna delete them to save space. Oh, that's funny. Next zombie is this one. Okay, 40. It's gonna go 80. Get to there. This zombie. What's happening? I can't right click my screen. Reloading. Well, they move 40 base, and then they're doing dashing.
I see.
Yeah, they're not attacking on the turns they get 80. Okay, this one is going to catch up to Varel, and he's going to claw.
Okay, it needs to roll to see if it hits a duplicate,
Oh, sure.
and it needs. Oh, hang on. I rolled the
I think
one.
it's like above
20.
I rolled it for you. What's a 1 do?
Okay. You need a 6 or more to hit a duplicate, so I guess that hits me. That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
Okay, so the first one hits you, and then I'll roll. Why don't you roll the next d20?
Sure.
We'll see which one
Oh,
that is.
Hitting twice?
Yeah, they swing twice.
Okay. Cool. And I have an AC of 12. On my dupes. Oh, still hits.
Yeah, 6 is still you.
6 or more hits a duplicate.
Oh, okay. So 1 duplicate. I'll undo that damage.
Okay.
1 duplicate is dead. So
Got you.
whatever math you need to do on that.
Yep.
This zombie. Oh fuck. My game is like desynced. All of these zombies look full health to me. It's not good. Alright, well, we'll figure that out. This zombie runs at Atticus and is going to attack. Misses the second one. This zombie should be lower. Yeah, that looks about right. Maybe more than that, but he is going to rush in here and attack Atticus. Miss. This zombie is going to rush at Bayroll. Roll a d20 for me.
Need an 8 or more this time, and I get it. Cool. It's a dupe.
Okay, so he hits your dupe.
Yep,
Let me
got one left.
Undo the damage from you. This zombie is 80 feet. Fosner, it is your turn. Gert, you there? I'll fix these zombies while
Yep, sorry. So, first thing Vazir is going to do is... Where is it? He's going to use Saloon's Mark. Where is it? It's in my puncher tag. And he's going to move Terran 30 feet.
Oh, cool.
Over here, next to Isolde. So it's going to put him like right here or something, wherever he wants to go, like right there. And then essentially he's going to switch spots. Then he's going to move into that space and do essentially that same thing again.
Oh, you have to roll to see if you can get it back.
Oh, okay.
So
Is it a D6?
yeah, you have to click. There's a thing in your character sheet, a little dice that says next to uses, so you can click that and see if you get it back.
Oh, okay. Measured uses. It says it's charged. Whatever that means.
You might not have consumed it last time you did it.
Oh, okay. How do I? What's the
clicked it
number
for you.
that I have to roll?
It's success, so you can do it again.
Okay, I get it back. Okay. All right. I'll just roll it from my character sheet this time.
Yeah, make sure you target the zombies when you do it. Which ones you're hitting.
Shoot, I need 2 hands. I don't have 2 hands.
CC, hold Alt.
I know better call. I think that's.
Yeah, looks
all
like
the
you
ones
got
I
him.
can get. Okay, and then my character sheet. That's what I'll do.
By the way, that those fireballs from Damon like lit trees on fire and shit. Like there's now roaring fires abruptly in the jungle now on 2 sides of you. Holy cow! All the zombies succeed. And you come down, you get Terran out of trouble, blinking him towards safety, and then you come into another whirlwind, and all the zombies just resist your pull, and they're all sort of grabbing at your form, trying to pull you down.
Cool.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna just stay there.
All right, Isolde, it's your turn.
Okay. Alright. I am going to move down next to Damon. Well, he can handle himself. I'm gonna move over to Atticus. And turn undead. Well, I'm gonna do spiritual guardians.
Okay.
I'll save the heavy stuff for later.
Yep. So feel free to cast it, and then at the start of turns, I changed it so it's a targeted spell. If that makes sense. So at the start of the turn of the creature, you can click your ability and then target the thing and do the damage.
Yeah, I saw that in my sheet. It's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think it makes more sense. Cool. Okay. Is that your turn then? Oh no. Okay.
Sorry, did I do it wrong?
No, we good. I took away the damage stuff from it, so it should be fine. Those
Okay.
rolls just don't mean anything.
Okay.
When the turn starts, you'll target the thing. But yeah. Okay.
That's it.
Cool. Jungle zombie. This one is going to come at Terran and make a grapple attack at you. Make an athletics check, Terran. You have to beat 14. Ooh! He grabs on you to pull you, and you resist, and he is going to try to grab you again. Athletics beat a 17. You don't. And
I'm going to chronal shift that because I don't want Terran to
what's that do?
die here. He gets to reroll.
Oh, feel free.
Oh, maybe not. Hang on. Attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
Yeah,
and
be
he's
an
rolling-
ability check.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, wow. He gets exactly a 17. This zombie tries to grab onto you, and Veyroll interrupts it and confuses it while it's trying to grasp onto your legs, and it is unable to. Terran, it is your turn.
Well, I'm not thrilled with him, but is Vosner technically where these 3 zombies are, like in sharing their square?
I'm gonna say, like, I think the rules as written is that as an elemental you can share a square. So I guess yeah, but it always bugs me to have like things stacked on top of each other at the end of the turn. So why are you hitting them all with an AoE?
Yeah, if I do an AoE, am I hitting Vosner as well?
I'd say so, yeah.
Okay. Then I won't do that.
He's also pretty beefy, so you know. He's a
I
strong
can
boy.
handle those.
He's
I'm
also
going
got
to-
resistance to cold and poison. If that makes any difference.
Yeah, kind of does. So I'm gonna go there, and then there. Get an attack of opportunity from this guy.
Which one's it? Well, it doesn't matter. I can just. They all have the same stat. Yeah. 5
Okay.
damage.
And then I'm going to breath weapon.
Oh, nice.
There.
Yeah. You spew out a bunch of. Oh yeah, I forgot. We added it that they get knocked back if they fail.
Yeah, if they fail, they fall.
So,
Yeah. I think it's they get knocked prone.
no, it says 10 feet is what.
Okay.
At least the text I just read says.
Um.
Trying to see which one. I think it'd be the ones who took the most damage, I guess.
Yeah.
So 10 feet. And that guy's dead, so it doesn't matter. It looks like three of them failed. Yeah, so that's what happens. 3 get blown back.
All right. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to see if I can get it back. And I don't.
One day. Atticus.
One day it'll work.
It is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to start by casting that bonus action spell. Sorry about this. Okay, here we go. Got that.
Ooh.
I don't know why it rolled.
Well, because it does damage.
I thought it was damage when I hit.
Yeah, it is. Okay, let me undo that. But yeah, so it adds an extra damage when you hit. And we'll just.
And then any creature that takes the damage can't regain hit points until the start of my next turn. Not that I think that's a concern for zombies.
Right.
And I'm going to pick, I don't know, the one down below me to reduce its speed by 10 feet until the start of my next turn. I guess. Oh no, that's any creature I see that starts its turn within 10 feet of me has its speed. Okay. So
Yeah, it's kind of like another Spirit Guardians.
Right. And then I'm gonna use my action to attack with my sword.
Okay. Wait, was that a... Oh, that Spirit Shroud is a bonus action. Weird. Cool. Yeah, you blow this zombie up.
And then for my second attack, hit the dude next to him.
Yeah. Fucking got him.
And that's it for me.
Nicely done. Okay. Oh, weird. I think he's done.
What's
this
that?
one, getting some in-game bugs running this many monsters. Okay, that guy still fails. He's still scared. This guy is not dumb. He is going to come here and grapple Vayroll. Vayroll, can you beat... Oh, you can?
He goes for a dupe.
Oh.
I got one left.
Interesting. I don't think in this case, because it's not a direct attack at you, it works for that. I could see why you would think it is, but here's my problem. If he grabs your illusion, does it destroy it? You know what I mean? Like,
that's a good question.
Like,
yeah,
because he's not doing damage, he's just trying to grab it. So
the language is when a creature is targeting you with an attack, and it's not an attack.
Well, technically, it is like a special attack. Here's what I'll do. I'll say it's going after your illusion, and have your illusion roll acrobatics to see if it like distracts it. And if it fails to beat an 11, so just you can roll an acrobatics. Okay, so it tries, your illusion distracts it, dodges out of, or like tries to dodge out of the way, and the zombie like tackles the illusion and realizes it's fake. So then he's going to use his other attack to try to grab you. Oh yeah.
Nuts.
And I'm guessing you can't beat a 22?
A shield wouldn't work either, so yeah.
Yeah. So he grabs you, and I'm trying to remember. How many? Yeah, sweet. Thanks, back button. He pulls you 5 feet this way.
Uh-oh. And is my duplicate destroyed from that first
Yes.
attempt? Okay, got you.
This zombie starts its turn. It's this one, Laurel. If that helps at all. If you can target it and hit it with your... Yep, perfect.
This works.
We did it! Nice. Okay, so it fails its saving throw. With a 19 it fails? You're so broken.
Thanks, fam.
Why don't I give you guys magic items? It just makes it harder for me to kill you. Alright, so you fuck him up, but he still gets to swing an attack at you. Right? He's just slow as fuck. And miss. And he's gonna swing at you. He wants to pull a hey, hits you. Concentration check. Woo! Almost failed that one.
Oops.
You have advantage on those anyways though.
Yeah.
Okay. This zombie is gonna come after Terran and attack him.
I'm gonna use the first one my Allura staff and bring up my wall.
Okay.
Um,
Give you
I'm gonna
back
cast
your
that.
7 health. The wall has
30.
I just DC'd. I don't know if anyone else did. I might be back.
maybe I fucked things up by dropping that text. Maybe that just killed you guys. Anyways, just remember that there is a wall here.
Yep. So it should be down to 17.
There we go. That represents a wall.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. 17 health. On that. This guy starts his turn not quite in his oldest square, and he is still a scared. Let's see. Wisdom saving throw. Nope, still scared. So there's just a whole bunch of zombies who are like just outside of the range who won't go towards Atticus because they're fucking freaked out by him. This zombie is going to attack you, and
Shit.
now here's an interesting question. If it creates a barrier, it's only on one side, right?
That's what I assumed. Like, I assumed he just went around it.
Yeah, I'll say that's what he did. I'll put it more obviously on the other side. So he comes and crits you, slashing at your back, and swings again. Oh, these zombies are rolling high. 2 hits. This zombie is going to come up to Damon and try to grab him. Can you beat a 16?
Let's find out here.
It's athletics or acrobatics, I think. Okay. You are grabbed by this zombie who moved 15 and who can pull you. Let's see, he's got 25 more, but it's halved, so 10. So he pulls you 10 feet away. This zombie is... Oh yeah, and you're grappled. This zombie is a scared. Wisdom. Fails. Wisdom. Fails. A lot of zombies on this screen. This guy is going to come and attack. Let's see. He's going going to attack Viral. And attack
Ouch.
again. Alright. This zombie is going to come and attack this giant elemental. Now, are you immune to damage?
I am resistant to all physical things.
Okay, so that should be halved.
Let's see. Lightning, thunder, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing.
Okay. Yeah, so that was slashing, so give yourself back 4 HP if you can.
I don't have hands, so.
Okay.
I don't need to do that.
I got you.
And I am immune to grappling.
Oh, fun.
You know, science.
Science. Let's get this guy in here. That's his whole turn. This guy's dead. This guy is still so scared. This guy starts his turn. Is the guy to the left of Atticus, Laurel. If you want to hit him
Gotcha.
with your shit. Nice. Okay, he's gonna swing twice at Atticus. Missing twice. Zombie is going to swing at Terran, but I'm gonna have it hit the barrier. Okay, that hits the barrier's AC, I think, but misses you.
Yeah, so let me check the barrier HP. Or AC.
Okay, so it should be six more damage to it.
Alright.
This guy is going.
That puts
to,
it at 11.
This guy is going to. I'm gonna say he's going to attempt a shove on the grappled Viral to knock him prone. So athletics. Oops. Viral, roll an athletics check to see if you get tripped by this zombie here.
Whew.
Yeah, you keep your feet. The zombie comes to try to sweep him, and he's gonna try again.
What? Come on, man. Let's do it. Oh, should I be rolling with disadvantage since I'm exhausted?
Totally.
Shut up, Dylan. Okay. Damn.
Yeah, you get knocked to the ground. So now, not only is there a zombie dragging you, so you were sort of being pulled by your arm out towards the dark jungle, but now you've been kicked, and so your legs are sort of dangling on the ground as you're being surrounded and pulled now by all these zombies.
It hurts.
Okay. This one is going to come here, and I'm going to say he's also attacking the barrier. And misses. Misses. Wait, what's the barrier's AC again?
It doesn't. I didn't see it listed. I might have missed it though.
Okay, I think it's like ice wall, so I think it's like a AC of 12 or something. It's pretty low. So 6 more damage to the
Yeah,
the wall.
it doesn't say it in the spell description. It just says when it's used defensively. When it's used defensively, the wall acts as a barrier, which either mitigates the damage entirely or prevents the first 30 points.
Okay. Laurel, a zombie just ran into your area. It's to the top left of Atticus. I'm just realizing a bunch of zombies were desynced as well. Change that.
I think I killed him.
I think you did too.
awesome ghost on zombie action.
Yeah, you fucking killed a zombie before you could do anything. Nice. This zombie is coming in into that exact same spot and is also going to get hit by your ability. But since you can't one-shot him, he's going to do his swings. So feel free to do your attack. Got it. Nice. So,
I'm gonna hellish rebuke him.
do you have a reaction? It's still the second round.
Oh, it's still the second round?
Yeah, we haven't even got the third round.
Shit! Who fucking put this many zombies in the goddamn... Okay.
Zombies scraping at elementals makes me happy. Alright, it does 5. We have that for you. Better yet, let me just edit your shit. Oh no, it says resistance. I don't know why it doesn't do it. Alright, that's what I got that. Maybe that'll fix it. This jungle zombie is dead. This jungle zombie is... Goddamn. There's just no room. It's gonna attack you again. Ooh, he crits? Testing it? Testing it? Did it do the right amount of damage?
It did 6.
It did. It did the right amount of damage. Swing it twice. All I had to do is click a box. I can save myself a lot of time. Alright. Oh, okay. And next. Okay. Well, this one can get here, but it can't do anything. They're all piled up around him. And we're gonna go to the back of the top of the round, but as you might have suspected,
John, goddamn you.
What zombies?
you guys are like level 1000. You know how many CR1 monsters you guys can kill according to the internet? A lot.
We're about to find out.
Yeah, I mean, I guess this is just like a trial run.
We're Groundhog Day, so we're all just gonna die and wake up right when we pass through the loop.
Wave 18.
Hell yeah. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Okay, I think that's enough for this round. Feral, you are prone and grappled, meaning you have a movement speed of 0, meaning you cannot stand unless you
That's
get out
true.
of the grapple.
Go ahead,
Do they
Sam.
need initiative?
Yeah, I got it. My bad. Thanks.
Alright,
They all get a 1.
I'll get a 1.
Well, Veral's 27 is unbeatable by them, so it doesn't matter. He always goes next.
So though I am grappled and prone, I'm still a wizard after all. I don't know why it's rolling damage.
That's the optional thing if you like go into a wall or something.
Yeah, let me just add that back. And I'm getting the hell out of here, coward that I am. I'm gonna go to our strong boys, roughly over here. So I'm still prone, but I think I'm no longer grappled.
Yeah.
Could I use a bonus action to stand up, or is that movement to stand up?
Here's something I'll do. If you make an acrobatics check and beat a DC 10, I'll let you just like teleport and land on your feet.
I like it. Still disadvantage. Hey.
Yeah, you're spry enough. You just teleport and coolly land on your feet, and you
Okay.
still have your full movement.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna stay put, and then just use a bonus action to consume a potion of greater healing on myself.
Cool.
And then that'll be the turn.
Awesome. Damon, you are also grappled. You are not prone, however. You're just being pulled by this zombie out of camp.
Damon looks at the zombie and goes, "Enough," and swings at it.
Fuck Fucking yeah. You decapitate it.
He's going to come back this way.
No, no.
Can I use like the haste action for that attack so I can still cast a spell?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay, dope.
You're gonna get
Then
multiple attacks of opportunity if you run that with him.
Then I will come up this way
Okay, that's just one then.
and this way.
Okay, missed anyways.
Nailed it.
And I'm going to cast Destructive Wave
Woo!
with
Each creature.
with radiant damage. Oh, hang on. Gotta zoom out here. Okay. Oh, did I already lay it? On accident?
It looks like you've targeted quite a few things.
If you could not target Terran, that would be.
Here we
pretty
go.
cool.
It's gonna hit everybody. Like it's 30
Don't I
feet
get to
of each creature within 30 feet of you.
It says each creature you choose.
You choose, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can choose
Oh
not
my-
to. Like the
what?
template might make it kill me. It's a 5th level
Yes.
spell.
Yeah, I guess.
So I don't want to target Terran or Varel or Vosner.
Yeah, alright.
But yeah, I'm gonna place it right here in front of me.
Fucking A. So, here's a fun thing about zombies. Technically, every time one of them dies, I'm supposed to roll a dice to see if they come back to life instantaneously. And I haven't been doing that. I feel like just making
But now
a
it feels
little
more appropriate.
bit. I mean, now it feels
Yeah.
kind of like it'd be fun. But,
Didn't we do that in the swamp?
yeah. Actually, I probably forgot that too. It's a lot of extra busy work. I'm just gonna say, fuck it. These zombies don't regenerate.
It's like a
Well,
jungle
I mean,
zombie thing.
I'm using radiant damage, so I don't know if that
Oh wait, how is it
would affect
radiant?
it.
I thought it was.
I think you get to pick.
Yeah, you choose
I just
radiant. or
don't know how
necrotic.
to.
Oh shit. Yeah. So you're supposed to do. Okay, so sorry. Each creature takes.
It's 5d6 radiant and 5d6.
And okay, so it
undead.
is right. It is right. Okay. So well, good to know because radiant makes it so they don't regenerate anyways. So let
Okay.
me delete all the zombies that you just killed.
And can you undo the damage on me?
Yep.
My party members.
I undid the damage on myself, so just don't worry about Terran.
Okay. I
Alright.
think we're good. And what does it look like when you obliterate all of these zombies?
Well, Damon had to use he couldn't use the staff because he already had the sword out. So he killed that zombie just to get out of his grip, and then came sprinting in and just slammed a flaming sword into the ground. And the rock around it erupted, and then this bright blue light just flashed outward and just disintegrated all the undead flesh surrounding us.
Jesus. Yeah. And just bits of zombie just went flying in all directions. And the camp is just totally fucking trashed. Like all the tents blow and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Damon's not really thinking about that right now.
Okay, oh, and you're no longer grappled. Cool. Is that your turn?
That is my turn.
Alright, this zombie will go and attack Vosner. Wait, why is Vosner so low? Did I not undo the damage to him?
I think
think
you
you
did.
did.
Yeah, that's what I thought too, but he seems a little lower. Vosner was at 75. Yeah, it didn't undo it.
Yeah, I can't tell. I'm away from my computer screen, so I trust you guys to keep me alive.
Huh, something's weird with this shit. Whatever. We good, we good.
Zombie
Just trying to
magic.
kill me off.
It don't like it. Whatever. If Gert dies, he'll be fine. He's got like a whole other health
Yeah, I'm
pool.
small.
Alright, that's another swing. He misses. This zombie is going to come over to Varel and try to grab him. Oh, he fucks up. Can you beat a 5?
I would hope so. Yeah.
Oh, disadvantage. Okay. This zombie coming in here. Laurel, you can hit him with your thing.
Yeah.
He's gonna swing twice at Atticus. Miss him twice.
Wait, which one?
This one. This other one is coming in, and he's going to swing at Damon. This zombie. Rush. Yay, finally won. I'm gonna say that what was left of that. Well, no, you picked the targets. How much is left on that shield, Taryn?
Like 6.
Okay. Yeah, this one will try to claw at it. Yeah, he fucking gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. So I
It'll
take 3 damage.
Yep. Let me undo the damage, and then you can take 3.
Alright, so you undid it.
And it is Bosner's turn.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Oh wow, a lot has happened. Or not a lot. Let me see if I get my little ability back. Nope. Varel, is Varel grappled or no? Where is he? Oh, he's over there.
He
I'm good.
is not grappled.
All right.
There are zombies trying to
I'm
grab at him.
Yeah. So I'm going to teleport over here with Saloon's Mark.
Oh, okay.
Um,
How many more of those do you have?
I have 2 left.
Because
and I will.
you used them previously in the day, I think.
Did I?
Well, I mean, you fought all those frogs and the goblins. I think you might have used one at one point then, but maybe not.
I didn't use it during the frogs, at least.
Okay. Your call.
Does anyone remember if I used it in? Because if not, I would only have. What is it? This would be my last one.
I don't know. I thought maybe that would jog your memory. If it doesn't, then fine. No worries. It's not like a huge balance issue.
Okay. Yeah. So Bosner will, I guess, just slam attack that one zombie in front of Varel. Wait, is it dead?
Nope.
I can't tell. Nope. I guess I'll hit it again.
Nice.
Oh fuck
I
yeah!
just splatter him into bones.
Yeah, you definitely do. Okay. Jungle zombie. This one is going to try and grab Damon. Damon, can you beat a 20? You fucking can. Yeah, nice. So you dodge out of the way.
Not again.
And he's going to try to claw at you in retaliation. Okay.
I will. I'll shield.
Okay. Undid the damage. Damon's trying for a perfect run where he doesn't take any damage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got 100%. Alright, 2 attacks. 16 misses. OP. Isolde, it is your turn.
Alright. She is going to... Would you say she would have noticed that zombies are totally willing to go into the spiritual guardians? Or if she was looking to attract zombies, would she want to drop it?
Oh, it seems like they're running into it without thinking. Like, you've literally watched like 3 run into it.
Right. Okay. Cool. I just want to make sure that she noticed that.
Yeah. Between that and Atticus's spirit shroud, by the way, the zombies have like 10 movement around you guys. Like, you have their movement, I think, and he reduces it by 10. So they're down to 10 around. So they're really slowed around you two.
Nice.
Just a fun fact.
She is going to move though. Sorry, Atticus. To the middle here. Oh, that's not where I put you. And she's going to use her Ilmater's Mark as a bonus action. So everyone gets advantage on attack rolls and saving throws until the start of the next turn.
Okay.
And then... in an hour. I guess that's a bonus action. Sorry, I'm being slow.
It's alright. You're helping me out. I'm trying to make it so that my combined zombie turn equals as long as your combined player's turn. Then I think it's fair.
Yeah, okay. I guess I'll cast Blood Blizzard.
Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, why not? Oh, but it's gonna end my... Alright. It'll end my Spirit Guardians, it's okay.
Okay. Makes my life easier anyways.
Yep. See where I should place it. I'll put it here. I want to go down.
There she blows. Yeah. I'll undo that damage to Bosner. I'm guessing that was unintentional.
Well, funny you should say that.
Uh-oh.
I don't get to choose.
Yeah, but I think you just misplaced that area.
Okay, yeah. Just trying to cut off all these attacks coming in from the left side.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Nope.
Does the Blood Blizzard stay? How's that work?
Does.
Creature takes... Oh,
If it
when it
enters-
appears, each creature takes it. A creature must also make the saving throw when it enters the spell for the first time, or it ends its turn there. Okay, well, they're gonna get the fuck out of there, so I don't have to roll 9 times. Alright, this zombie is going to come down and grapple Isolde. Athletics. 19.
She is not that athletic.
Oh! Yeah, she is. Yeah, the zombie tries to grab onto you and then angrily slashes at you. Yetcha. You deflect it.
Sucker.
Easy peasy. Taryn, it is your turn.
Alright. Terran's just gonna try to mop up a bunch of these guys.
Remember that you have advantage on your attacks.
Yeah, but I wanna get rid of a large group, so I'm just gonna cast a fireball.
Yeah. Pretty effective.
Wow.
The initiative is getting slowly cleaned up.
Guy right in front of me dead?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then I'm going to stay put, but try to get my breath weapon back. Yes!
Nice! It happened! Alright. Atticus, it is your turn. A lot of player turns, not a lot of zombie turns.
Probably need more at the end of the round.
Yeah, probably.
What the fuck are you guys talking about? Anyway, I could just, I guess, use a smidge more health, so I think what I'm going to do, target that guy, for my bonus action, do a Hexblade's Curse. Once I find it in my character sheet, here we go. And then I'm going to kill him. So I can get 13.
What? This is a children's show.
Alright, now I can add 13 back to my boy.
Nice. Alright.
Uh-oh. Okay. For a second there, I thought I played. Why did I make a Constitution saving throw? Anyway, it was a good one. I wish I could hang on to that for later.
You concentrate.
And then I'm gonna kill this other one.
Yeah. Both die.
That's it for me.
Nice. This one is going to. Oh, he's gonna make a fucking save. Nope, still out of the game. This one's not done. Oh yeah. Save was fail. Zombie. Wisdom. Wisdom save. Next zombie. Wisdom save. Next zombie. Alright. Cha-cha-chow. Oh yeah, you can get to Atticus. But you can sentinel him, Bosner. If and you want to.
Yeah, which one?
The one right below Atticus, between you and Atticus.
Okay, yeah. Hold on a second.
This one is attacking Atticus. And he's actually going to try to pull you. Can you beat a 18 athletics on Atticus?
don't rightly know. Let me see.
Or acrobatics, depending on what you're proficient in. Oof.
Nope.
Yeah, so you're fighting and he gets a hold of your arm and starts pulling you. Oh, but you have Spirit Shroud up, right? Or did you drop that?
No, it's still up
And that lowers their movement speed by how much?
by 10.
Okay, so he can pull you 15. I'll put him, actually, I'll put him there, and say he pulls you 10. So he starts pulling you into this kind of smoldering jungle area. I'm not going to say that it's burning enough to like actually do damage to you. It's just sort of smoky, and there's like embers around you, scorched, flaming grass. And he's pulling you into the jungle. That's his turn. This zombie is going to try and knock you down using a shove. Okay, can you beat a 20 athletics or acrobatics?
Not looking good. Oh, it hesitated on 19 for a second. I was like, yeah, we got it.
So this zombie scoops your legs out and you hit the ground. You are now being dragged through the burning jungle on the ground by zombies trying to pull you away from the conflict. And this guy is going to run and hit Feral and swing again. There you go.
I'm gonna shield that.
Okay. You'll undo the damage. This zombie is going to, now that you are shoved prone, attack with advantage. Oh, that was disadvantage. Misses the second attack. This zombie is also seeing this dog pile situation. It's going to attack with. Now they're all surrounding you, swarming you, just clawing at you as you're stuck on the ground and you're still using your shield to deflect most of their blows, but occasionally one gets through. And at the start of the fourth round,
Shit. I feel like we're gonna have to do something to like limit the number of zombies.
Does anyone have good AoE spells?
I mean, yeah, but like, not to. Gotta do something to like either get away or stem the tide, because like this isn't a sustainable model.
okay. Dice. Okay, Beryl, it is your turn.
Just meta, is retreating an option? Like, are we able to flee?
So it depends. Narratively, it is a little bit tricky to like. Not narratively, but mechanically, it's very difficult to retreat because then you have to just do this thing where like I don't have infinite battle map for you to run on to see if they catch up to you. I guess two things. First of all, if you are faster than your opponent on foot, then I would just say like it makes sense you guys just run the opposite direction. And if they are coming from one direction, then that's possible. If you have some sort of spell that can just get you out of there, then yes, that's also an option. But if it's a question of them attacking you from all sides and without outside assistance or some sort of planned thing, it's a little bit trickier to answer.
Okay.
There's no like, it's not like a Final Fantasy game where you can just flee and then you just get out of the encounter. But yeah, Barrel, it is your turn.
Okie doke. Not knowing what else to do other than fight, I'm just gonna cast a wimpy little cantrip. Hopefully bring that guy down. Not even close.
Oh, he succeeds. Fucking 19.
He's so
Wow.
smart. Yeah.
What are the odds? 10%,
I think
10%
that's all I can do here. Yeah. What a wimpy turn. But that's it.
Okay. Damon, it is your turn.
All right, I'm going to. I'm going to head this way, taking 3 attacks of opportunity, I think.
Woo! Alright.
And then out comes Threnody for an encore of Destructive Wave.
Okay. 3 swipes, all missed.
Targeting only zombies.
No take backsies. No, I'm just kidding. For some reason, I can't fix Barrel's health. Or Boston's health.
And then with my extra attack, I will take Threnody and just bop this guy on the head.
I fucking love it.
And I will
say
try.
that if you want to attack with your flaming sword, like your sword arm in one hand and your staff in the other, I'll allow that. You just got a special arm specifically for that.
I would probably swing with the sword then, because that's
Yeah.
gonna do more damage, I think.
Oh, did everybody just disconnect?
Yeah,
I did, right as I swung.
but it's reestablished.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna.
Yeah.
That's enough damage. You kill him.
And then I will use my remaining movement to try and get in to give Atticus a hand up when I can, and ask, "Do you know, will these things stop at some point?" And that is the end of my turn.
Yeah, sick. Man, Destruction Wave, good spell. Fucking A. That is your turn. Okay. Jungle's on me. Alright, this one's gonna come and try to shove you prone. Athletics, you have to beat a 7, Taryn. Oh, you don't.
Oh, fuck.
You get knocked prone by this guy, and then he's going to attack you with claws and advantage, and still miss, because they're scrubs. This one is going to... I'm gonna say he's gonna... Wow, Osner's not actually that low. That's the problem, it's not updating. 2 swipes it. This zombie is going to attack his old. Yes. Wait, misses Elemental with a 24? The fuck? Alright. Let me go back and do some damage on control on. Osner had the 6. I think Bosner's at 75. Just delete his token and bring it back. Jesus. Yeah, 75. then let's do 24. Just do swing again. Let's see if that works. No, whatever. That's fine. Jungle zombie. Going to try and grapple Bayroll. Can you beat an 8?
I sure hope.
Athletics or acrobatics.
Okay. I think with Izzy's thing, with the advantage plus my exhaustion, it should just be a regular roll here.
It's not advantage on save. This isn't a save.
Oh.
That's also dropped now.
Oh, well, let me do one more and we'll take the lowest.
Look at you
Cool.
rolling like a baller. Yeah, zombie can't get you. He's gonna claw at you for that. How dare you.
Everyone's athletic today.
I guess. It's funny, I was rolling like a god earlier, and then now I'm not rolling very well. Let's run this way. Bosner, it's your turn.
Cool. Alright. Where is everyone? Oh boy. Alright, let me see if I get my thing back. Nope. I will. Are both those zombies alive next to me?
Yep. One has 1 health.
Okay. I'm going to target this one and boop it. That should kill it.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I'm going to, I guess, fly over.
There's another one with health next to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna fly over because Terran looks like he's in a lot of trouble.
Got it.
A large arc. And
You're gonna fly like upwards and then over to him, so you don't get the attack
Yeah, like
opportunity.
45, 45.
Okay. You got one will get an attack, but that's it. It misses you anyways.
Then I'm going to boot that guy. And that's it. That's all I can do.
Jungle zombie is going to try to grab Zolda. Can you beat a 12?
Oh, I hope so.
Fuck yeah, you can. So athletic, Zolda. He's gonna try again. He's just grabbing at you. 19. Nope. Finally, zombie gets you. It's going to move 20 feet, pulling you with him. So you are now being dragged. You haven't been knocked to the ground yet, but you're being pulled out towards the jungle.
Thanks.
Isolde, it is your turn.
I was going to position myself more strategically for this, but she is going to turn undead.
Nice. Yeah, I'll give you the template.
Yeah, because it would take me an action to try to get away from this guy, right?
Correct. So that's your template for what you can touch.
Question.
Yeah.
Does he have like 2 health?
Yeah.
Right. She is going to, as a bonus action, cast Spiritual Weapon.
Oh, can she hit him?
Let's hope so.
Historically, no.
Darren.
Thematically, hopefully.
Be a great step in the hero's journey, I think.
Yeah, that's a fucking 20. She hits him. The zombie dies. She is no longer grappled.
Ooh. She's gonna sprint off this way. Oh yeah, I do.
40 feet? Wait, does mobility or mobile change it? Oh.
So, yeah. I'm gonna kill that guy and then sprint off and then cast Turn Undead.
Okay. Okay. That's your new aura.
Must have stumbled upon some others. There we go. Me.
Turn
Wrong
Undead,
one.
I think is what you did. Yeah. Terran also dies instantaneously, as he was an undead the whole campaign. You guys didn't even know. Secret.
And my
What?
challenge
Secret
rating is
secrets.
under 2, so...
Yeah. You guys didn't notice he has a 1 proficiency bonus. Hilarious. Okay, yeah, so
They
what
all fail.
happens? They all fail. What? Even the guy gets a 19? DC 20? Are you cheating? Okay, so every zombie in the radius died. Now, what I need from all of you is somebody to rewatch the replay and figure out how many zombies you killed. Because it's a lot. Is that your turn?
Yeah, I think that's all I can do.
Bonus action, movement.
Do you want to
destruction
throw
of
my
all-
hammer up on screen?
Yeah, dude.
Alright, is it my turn?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go there and breath weapon just to see if I can mop up a few more of these guys.
Dang, yeah.
Did I only kill one of them? That's
Yeah. This
So
one gets knocked
frustrating.
back 10 feet though.
alright. Actually, can I burn a spell point and make that a bonus action?
Yep.
Alright, sweet. And then I'm going to cast.
How are you guys not out of like all your resources? This is the third fight you've done.
Getting there.
I turned all of my first level spells into
Sorcery
points.
Smart.
Then I'm going to use Alora's staff and cast. I forgot to attack someone, but I'm gonna cast Ice Ray. Does that hit this guy?
Which guy are you targeting? 3 rays?
Uh,
Oh, are you gonna just aim
Well, the
it
first one's going after this one.
Oh yeah, he's dead.
All right, and then the second one at him.
Okay. Yep.
And the third one will go at him.
Boom, boom, boom.
That'll be
Kill
it.
3. Yeah, nice. Okay. Atticus, you are prone and grappled, but the number of zombies around you has reduced significantly. Damon is sort of helping you, so I'll say you have advantage to like break free of the grapple, if that's what you want to do. Or if you want to just attack while prone on the ground, you have disadvantage on attacks.
Yeah. And that thing from Laurel dropped, right?
Correct.
Correct.
Alright. Yeah, okay, so feeling very confident in Damon's abilities, he's going to respond to Damon's previous query about whether there was any end to this by, sort of, while laying on the ground, kind of shrugging and saying,
It's a big jungle.
And I'm going to Misty Step. Ooh. One.
Man, next encounter, you guys are gonna be tapped.
I'm still not convinced this encounter is ever gonna end. So
Here. And then I'm going to shoot my. How many Eldritch Blasts do I have?
3, I believe, at this level.
Yeah, 3. Yep, that's right.
Oh, another thing. This guy over here is weird. I don't know if he's gone yet, but it's been a whole round. Isolde, is your aura thing still up over here? This.
My Blood Blizzard is, yeah. I
Okay.
was thinking about that guy over there.
I'm gonna just. Oh, it's actually his turn next. Okay, that makes sense. I think he must have ended his turn there because of fear. So I'll say he took the damage, whatever it was, like 20.
Okay, but he's still up though.
Yeah, he's low though. Nice. So you kill him.
And then I turn my attention to the guy below me.
Okay. Pew,
I don't know why it played the effect the first time, then the next.
Yeah, that
two.
was so
I don't know how
weird.
to do that. Yeah, I guess that's it for me.
Okay. Alright. It's jungle zombie time. Peanut butter jelly time. Okay, this one's coming at Damon with claw attack.
My AC is actually 22 right now because of haste.
Ah, motherfucker. You're gonna 100% this counter, you know it. Oh, you can't go.
I mean, it makes sense. We are streaming on Twitch, so.
Yeah. Can I get a like and subscribe? That's YouTube.
What are the Twitch rewards you're offering, John?
Free cheese. This guy is going to try and grab his old. Can you beat a
We must
19?
have. It's free cheese. We must have tens of people watching us.
Oh,
Ooh.
again. Oh, but he moved some. He's not gonna be able to pull you very far. Yeah, he can't. You're just so athletic with your +2.
So athletic.
Claw attack, Damon. Fail. 20.
At the.
Damn it.
It's 22 right now, yeah.
Okay. At the start of round 5, no additional zombies join the battlefield. Bayroll, it is your turn.
Yeah, we're gonna need a body count at the end of this. This is crazy.
I was
And also-
worried that we were gonna have to do something like violent to the corpse of Hilda in order to get this to stop.
Not threatening. Yeah. Oh my.
Burn it.
That's dark. Yeah. Also, holy hell! In 6 seconds, the terrain's really changed here.
Yeah.
So seeing this little zombie in front of me approach, all confident, Varel is expressionlessly going to stare at it and set it aflame.
What the fuck? You did. You... It's so hardcore. Yeah, he's burning. And I think he takes damage on his turn or something.
He.
At the end of each turn, he repeats a save or takes 46 fire damage.
Jesus. All right, yeah, you set one on fire. Damon, it's your turn.
Yeah, Damon just takes a couple swings up here.
Yeah, that's one swing.
Very, very cash.
I love how like the dice come rolling out. It's kind of like you spill their blood across the screen.
It is really satisfying.
Yeah,
That's my favorite mod, I think, is
I think it's
The dice
probably
roll.
the most bang for your buck.
And I'll just run up this way and try and help clean up the rest of these if they make it to the next round.
Sweet. If they make it, of course they're gonna make it. They're gonna win this. I think I got money on them. All right, come in here to attack. Let's say Atticus. Give him the old slap. Succeeds on his concentration check, of course. I love that these zombies can hit Atticus, but for some reason they can't touch the rest of you. Fucking paladin. Vosner, you're up.
Awesome. Let's see if I can get my thing back.
Yeah.
This still kind of
Yeah.
in the pattern.
Yeah.
All right, so I'm going to step here.
Yeah.
And get those 3 zombies.
Yeah. Give them the old target. Let's see if they all fail now. Because they're really turning the tide. Making my zombies roll poorly now.
Oh, bub.
Hilarious.
Yeah, 2.
They actually, 2 of them actually fail. I'm throwing them out into the jungle.
Nice.
It only took 20 feet, I guess. So about there. Yeah. Nice. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Alright.
Everyone looks fine. So.
As old as it.
Alright.
I thought nobody was ever close to dying in this fight. It's absolutely crazy to me.
I know, I put up Beacon of Hope, like, I'm gonna need all the healing I can get, and then dropped it because I didn't
And
need
then
it.
you just nuked the whole fucking place.
So I move my spiritual weapon, and I bop this guy with it.
Nice. He is bopped.
And then I will Sacred Flame him. And that's it.
Okay. Taryn, it is your turn.
Just going to Way of Frost that guy.
That's the
And
death
then-
sound of a zombie.
Try to get my breath back.
Dude.
And fail.
Correct.
Dylan, you're right. That is pretty metal.
Yeah.
Okay. You.
Did I kill that guy?
This guy's dead.
Alright, sweet.
Atticus.
Right. Turn to the guy in front of me. Give him a whack. And as well as on bad boys.
Nice.
And then give him another whack.
Sick. He's dead.
That's it for me.
Jungle zombie turn. How fast we move. It's crazy. An attack.
Slowly mopping them up.
Yeah! Can you beat a 24, sir?
Yo, can I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
Is so knowing that I succeed the Constitution saving throw, I wouldn't shield. But the reason I would is because I think like without the benefit of this mod, I wouldn't know I succeeded my Constitution saving throw
Sure.
before shielding. So it feels like
Yeah,
I'm
I
playing
don't worry.
honestly, I
I
should
don't
still
worry too
shield.
much about you guys metagaming it and having additional information. Like I know it gives you more of an advantage, but I don't really mind. So if you don't want to shield,
Okay.
that's fine.
Yeah, I'll preserve my spell slot then.
Yeah, figured as much. Okay, so that was 2 swipes. That's his turn. Oh shit. Oh, 21 doesn't it?
Yeah.
Let me undo it. This zombie is going to attack Barrel. Yeah. And you fail your concentration check, so whatever you were concentrating on.
Oh, that was immolation, so does it no longer
Oh,
take damage?
yeah, sick. This zombie beats you so hard he puts his own flames out.
Ouch.
Nice. He is
Brutal.
a flaming zombie striking at you, and you lose concentration on your spell.
We'll get him.
Epic. This guy's gonna attack Bosman. Miss. This one's gonna shove Isolde to the ground. Can you beat a 10 athletics? Of course you can. Cheater. She's also gonna swing at you, Ankle. Okay. Then this other zombie is also gonna try to shove you to the ground. They're just piling on. Can you beat a 17? Yes! Finally! Laurel. Alright, attack with advantage. Fucking why? What's the point? What's the point? Alright, this zombie is going to attack Atticus. Miss. This zombie's gonna attack you with advantage. Cheater! It's impossible. Alright, Veyroll, it is your turn. Round
Oh, these
6.
rounds Yep. Let's finish this nerd off. In front of us here.
That'll do it.
Bang. Cool. And then Atticus, I'm sure you're good. So let's go here. That'll do it.
Damon, it's your turn.
Take a step back here. Take the attack of opportunity.
Let's come in.
Outcome.
Oh, that actually hit.
Ooh. Then I better shield that. Oh no, I succeeded.
Also, Sentinel.
I succeeded.
Does that trigger Sentinel? Can you hit that guy? It's the far away one.
guy?
Or it's this one.
Oh, the far away one? Never mind. Never mind.
We got Serenity here coming out. I turn to Valja and say, cover whatever you have that counts as ears.
Yeah. Fucking
And then I'll
shit.
step back in
Matter.
and try and finish one of these guys off.
Damn.
It's a good thing I have so much health.
Yeah.
And that'll do it. Chipping away.
Bosner, it's your turn.
Awesome. Looks like everyone is okay. Not dragged
Only
off
6
into the
jungle
forest
zombies left.
Yeah. All right.
We might be able to like kill them before their turn.
Yeah. First, let me see if I can recharge.
Nope.
All right. Well, I'm going to boop that one guy. Cool.
Fucking
dead.
booped. Look at that max damage roll.
Holy shit.
Boop that other guy.
Oh my god.
Cool.
Okay, not max damage that time.
But still good. All right. That's it.
Okay, Isolde.
I'm gonna keep fighting these zombies.
You are prone, so you have disadvantage on any melee attack you make.
Okay. Well, I don't need melee attacks.
But you
You
are
could
not.
stand up.
Yeah, you're not grappled, so you can stand up.
Alright, I'll stand up.
It's half your
Please.
movement.
And don't you have your spiritual weapon floating around?
I do. Which is
Yeah.
technically a melee attack.
No, it's a
But-
spell attack or something.
That's
something
not
weird.
grappled stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it can attack this one. Pachow. One down.
And I will turn around and blast the other one with Secret Flame. I guess I could use... No, I don't think I could.
Okay.
That's all.
Taryn, you're up.
Alright. I'm going to start with trying to recharge, failing, and then just launching another Ray of Frost.
Got it. Okay.
That'll be it.
Atticus, you're up.
Then go up, dude, right?
Nice. For the record, I think it was 100. That was what I had initially planned to do. Can't
100
remember.
zombies?
100 zombies. I think that was my goal.
It's about the
Still
population of a
100.
camp.
I do think if I had done 25 CR4 zombies, you guys would have died. Because they wouldn't have insta-died to Laurel's ship.
I wonder if you could do like a mixed bag. That would have fucked us up too.
Yeah, I thought about it, and then I was like, oh, just a horde fight. You kill him.
Pretty dope.
Is that your turn?
Yeah, I'm just gonna move 30 feet towards the rest, but you can go ahead, move on.
Okay, and then this one is going to attack. Come on, crit! Damn it. Barrel, your turn.
Okay. Let's have a repeat here. Seeing the one in front of Izzy, I extend my hand and I set it aflame.
Jesus. Using 5th level spell slots?
Baller.
I have 2, yeah. So I assume we'll be going to bed pretty soon. So
You know,
Letting
your,
them out.
Better
your
hope
body
so.
only feels like it's 4 p.m. right now, just so you know.
damn. I'm getting tired.
Damon, it's your turn.
I have something. Don't worry. To keep it
I
safe.
will do this one. And I don't even pause.
Yeah, nice. Still hits. Yeah. Alright, how do you want to kill the final zombie?
I just like run up to it. It's facing Laurel presumably, and I just like stick my flaming sword through its face, and maybe splatter a little bit of viscera on Isolde. So I will then say, "My apologies, Captain," as I
pull the sword out.
All right, and we are out of combat. You did it! 100
that was fun.
zombies later.
Dang.
Varel finds a nearby stump and just has a seat.
So let's regroup.
Yeah, Vosner will drop his wind form. He will say that we could probably use a little protection. I saved one of my higher spells just in case Varel's tower wasn't able to be used. But it should help us. And then we can safely rest there. But he will cast Druid Grove. And
Just because you mention it, I've been sitting on one 3rd level spell just in case I needed Varel's tower in a minute. Is between that or slow and yeah.
yeah, I have one 7th level slot, and I'm going to cast it.
Nice. I'll keep an eye on your 7th spell usage to see if you still keep that or not.
Okay, so
That one thing of mistletoe that I got from the guild before we left.
okay. And what do you want to happen? You want to do the Grove Guardians?
So Grove Guardians can't leave. Do I get one of those, or do I get all of those?
Let's see.
Let's see, the entire Dispel Magic can do it.
The spell's caster chooses which effect to. Oh no, wait, that's a Dispel Magic. Okay, invoke Billings. This spell creates the following effects within the area. Oh, all of them.
All
When
of
you
them,
cast
and
a
then I
spell,
get
you
to choose
specify-
one additional effect, right?
And you can specify password. Okay. So you make a fog.
Yep.
You make like trip ground, entangly ground. You have Grove Guardians, and then you can have all sorts of shit. Is this just setting up like a perimeter or something, kind of?
Yeah, so I'm essentially setting up perimeter around this camp.
Okay.
And then I'm telling the Guardians to patrol the perimeter and destroy any undead.
Yeah. Okay. So you set this up, and all around the life of the jungle comes to Vosner's command. Trees animate 4 of them into sort of like treants, and they walk about patrolling around you. And the ground becomes sort of defensive in nature, protecting you guys from incoming hordes. And yeah.
It's good for 24 hours. So it takes me 10 minutes to cast this, but
Is there any
Atticus
of the
will-
4? Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Atticus will ask for help getting the wagon back on its wheels, bringing it into the center, laying Hildy's body on it, and lighting it ablaze.
You do
don't we? Don't you think we could bring her back? And I look over to Isolde.
If Atticus thinks it's appropriate.
I don't have magic powerful enough at the moment. No, wait.
I'll go walk over to Atticus and Hildy.
If you have the magic for it, certainly try, but I will not hold it against you if it does not work. I do not know whether she would even choose to come back.
I'm not sure how any of this works being in a time bubble. Is it possible that if we were to exit this bubble that we could prevent this all from happening together?
If we find our way out, and we discover that upon exiting, we are back in the past again, then most certainly we can.
I think that that would perhaps serve us better, and I am sorry, but the limited resources I have, I think that that would be our best option.
I am well acquainted with the calculus that one must do in this jungle. You needn't apologize.
And then he will hold the torch to the wagon and let her up.
Yep, she goes up pretty easily. The wagon wood is fairly dry. And you guys witness the funeral of Hildy, Hildegard Ashglade.
As it burns, I'll subtly control the flame to have like flickers of a sword and maybe something like the outline of plate mail armor appear, a la Simple Shapes. And if you're watching closely, you might see it. It's sort of a in memoriam type thing.
It's very cool.
Atticus is very appreciative.
And Vosner will druid craft some flowers
Yeah.
as well.
So, are you guys staying the night here, or staying the evening and then the night?
Well, we're safe, relatively.
Yeah, I think we could all probably use a rest.
Okay.
I'll scour the camp to see if I find any usable supplies, food,
You find
bedroll.
food, bedroll. I mean, you find a fully equipped camp. I will say, it has been pretty fucked up by AOE spells like fireballs and ice fireballs and destruction waves, shatters. So you don't really find anything of worth. Everything that was like crafted has been broken, but you can find like barrels that are kind of broken open that have like dried meat in them and stuff. Like enough supplies to feed yourself dinner. That kind of thing.
Cool. If we rested here, would that heal exhaustion?
If you did it inside of a tower, your tower.
Alright. Gracious as I am of Vosner's natural security, I'll still cast the old tower in the middle of things.
Well, they stack. I mean, the security of the tower is, one thing, and the security of the jungle being alive, defending you from intruders is another.
More the merrier.
Yeah. Actually, kind of an insane setup now. I didn't realize you guys were going to be able to set up a tower defense.
Let's go back to the abyss, and we'll
I'm gonna have to make an encounter where you're in a tower with all these elemental trees around you and stuff attacks you. I'll have to add that to the to-do list. It'll be cool.
We're unstoppable, guys.
So we can see Gert's defenses in action. Yeah, so you guys create a tower and have all these wild defenses going. It's like, say, 5 p.m. in your mental time. It's still dark out in this time bubble. What are you guys doing? I guess I should go through. What is Taryn doing?
He's going to be just hanging out in the tower. He doesn't have like any like plans or things to do at this point. Now that we're safe.
Okay. Damon, what are you doing?
Damon will join the treants in patrolling. And like every now and again we'll see like, this patch is just like slightly too unruly for my taste, and we'll try and like trim it back like a little bit and make it more appealing and orderly,
Okay.
while still trying to keep from damaging the defenses too significantly with his desire for ordered shrubberies and things like that.
Yeah, okay. You try to trim the chaos back a little bit.
Yeah.
Vosner, what are you doing?
Vosner will kind of stay. At first, he'll stay outside of the tower, and let me see if I have it prepared. Sweet, I got one left. The other one, no. And I'm going to I'm going to commune with nature and see what is around us before I take this rest.
Okay.
So, knowledge of land within 3 miles, and other natural things. So,
Okay. You can detect the river not far away that you followed down. You detect just myriad plants, just all sorts of different species and varieties. I'll say you actually even detect one of those flowers that you had discovered on the Isle of Gunderlin. And so at some point you can go out and grab like 2 doses of that, which cures a level of exhaustion, if you remember.
perfect.
Yep. I'll say also you don't detect any elementals, fiends, fae, celestials, and no undead present within 3 miles. You influence from other planes of existence. That's an interesting one.
Yeah, since
I already gave you 3 facts of your choice, though. I'll just give you all the facts. The only buildings within 3 miles are this area, and then the influence of other planes of existence. Yeah, that one you get a weird vibe. I'm not going to tell you anything specific, but you think maybe the time bubble has some relation to other planes of existence.
Okay.
It's sort of like a hunch.
A hunch.
Yeah.
All right. Does it feel like it's radiating from some like general direction, or does it feel like, I don't know, a shadow is being cast over us?
I would say you feel like this time bubble, like it's so weird that it almost feels like you're in another plane currently, but you're not. As far as you can tell.
All right. So once I do that, I'll head into the tower and I'll relay that to everyone and say, it looks like within 3 miles of here, everything's generally quiet. I don't even detect any more undead. Seems like that horde was massive, but there's no more of them. Well, the strange thing is, I have the ability to, I guess, sense other planes, and where we are currently, it feels like as strange as it sounds, it feels like we're on another plane. But we're also on the prime material plane. So this magic or influence is very strange.
Sorry, Vosner, did you say that the magic here in the time bubble feels as though it's extraplanar, but it isn't?
Yeah, it feels like we're on a different plane.
Okay.
But also, we're not.
Do you feel like
It's
you did
very
in your
strange.
dreams of the Shadowfell?
Is it striking familiarity with that?
No, this is different. This feels like you're on a different plane, but it's also the prime material plane.
Yeah. So, no, it definitely feels like we're home, but there's something off about it. It doesn't
Someone.
feel like the Shadow Bell.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah, I think good is relative here, but yeah. So that should at least inform us a little bit of what we're doing.
Did we already establish what Veyro is doing?
Probably just kind of putzing around, trying to make things as comfortable as possible, mostly for himself, but also incidentally for everybody else. He'll make a bonfire, he'll gather food, maybe get a stew going if he can find the materials, and just kind of anxiously wait for a long rest, because he's pretty tapped.
Sure. Isolde, what are you doing?
She would probably spend some of the time having a brief discussion with Farrell about how time magic works. And then I think she would try to scry on the other squad in the off chance that this bubble is so large that they are also within it.
Go for it. It has no effect.
She'll tell Varel that, and yeah, probably just pester him with questions all evening.
At some point, if you happen to look into that journal, since you have the whole evening ahead of you, you would notice, let's say with your passive perception / investigation, that the entries go back a whole month, all the way back to the time that you were most recently in. And one of them catches your eye in particular because it says, like Thursday, 9 p.m. something, survived another onslaught from the Yuan-Ti. Wouldn't have been able to do it without the help of Isolde and her crew. And that was 4 weeks ago.
So, okay, so she's gonna sit down with Farrell and kind of talk this out a little bit. So, on the day that we left, we both made it to the camp in that time and entered into the bubble in this time, I think.
Yes, it would appear we've reached Camp Righteous twice. A month ago and here again today.
Oh, that was sorry. The location when he wrote that was Camp Vengeance. And sorry, further on it reads, in 2 weeks, Hilda is going to lead us out to Camp Righteous.
Interesting. I don't know what to make of that. I wish I knew what transpired that would have made us continue on to Camp Vengeance 4 weeks ago.
Wait, did the journal say we fought Yanti at Camp Vengeance and then 2 weeks were to head to Camp Righteous?
Correct.
I'll pose the question to Isolde. I wonder how we made it to Camp Vengeance at the same time that we had arrived a month ago.
Don't know. And then there is also the question of whether if we helped them in Camp Vengeance, if we also helped them at Camp Righteous? In which case, where are we? Like that we. Do we fail? Tilda is dead?
I'm not sure. I'm suspicious that this won't be the first time we travel forward or backwards through time. It seems there are different threads of different futures and pasts all interweaving here on Schultz. It will take some time to untangle all of it.
So, we know that two people can exist in the same day from different timelines, right? Because Marin does.
Indeed. We're no exception, of course.
So, if another copy of us exists today, like this today, that is in the future, maybe I could scry on us?
Varel grins uncharacteristically. Says, that sounds like a fantastic idea.
Okay. She's gonna try to do that, and it's gonna, like, involve some concentration as to not, like, get an image of this room when she does it, but she's going to try as hard as she can to scry another Varel.
Yeah. Roll it into the chat.
Okay.
You try to scry, and the target you're aiming for is who? Yourself or Varel? Or...
Varel, but the Varel that went to Camp Vengeance 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, you know him really well. You try to scry on Varel, and you try to scry on a Varel that's not in your presence. You try to, like, project yourself beyond it. You feel your sort of astral self flying through the jungle in a nondescript direction, and then as soon as your mind passes through a bubble, it goes to nothingness, and you find yourself back. You can't see outside the bubble.
She'll kind of, like, excitedly look at Varel. Say, I didn't see anything. It also wasn't nothing.
Not quite sure what that means, to be honest.
I don't either, but it's very interesting.
Indeed. Yeah, Varel's kind of like, you know, putting his chin in his hand and thinking thoughtfully, trying to figure out how it could be that other versions of himself and the rest of the squad are coexisting, so to speak.
Yep. And I think with that, that's a good place to end it.
That's gnarly. So,
cool.
just for my notes, because I'm like, this is nuts. From the journal, a month prior, we were already at Camp Vengeance fighting the Yuan-Ti, about to head to Camp Righteous, and yet in our campaign, we know that we were getting to Cholt for about the first time.
No.
Oh,
You've come to realize that you are right now at least a month ahead of your previous time.
uh-huh.
And in the journal, which goes back all the way a month to your first present timeline, we'll call it timeline A, there is recording of events that happen in timeline A that you now have access to because of this journal. But the journal is from the perspective of a guy who is a guard at Camp Vengeance, who met you, who fought with you, and who 2 weeks later went on to Camp Righteous with Hildegard.
So we both did and did not go into the time bubble.
I don't think you can discern that. You went into the time bubble. You're in it currently.
Yeah. But in order for us to have been at Camp Vengeance a month ago, we must not be in the time bubble that puts us forward a
Or
month at least.
sometime in the future, we're gonna go into the past.
Or all of the
Laurel's
above.
getting it. What happens when you exit the time bubble?
Yeah, will we resync with the identities that
Yeah,
didn't?
maybe if we go out the other side, we'll be back in the day that we were before.
Or will like our noses start to
Head
bleed
to
and like,
vengeance.
Or the journal will be written that we've already read.
I will
In the
say, with
future.
Barrel's knowledge, because he did a really high investigation check, and with your guys' study of this and experimentation, and Atticus's knowledge of the area, the conclusion would be that once you leave the bubble, you could potentially come back out the same time it was when you entered it.
It's pretty crazy.
hold on.
Timeline A. Got it. That A and B is going to save the day.
Have you seen the movie The Endless?
No? Is it good?
I'd recommend it. I mean, you like Annihilation,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, you might like The Endless.
Sweet.
I won't guarantee it, but say
This
the
whole thing is
chances are
starting
good.
to feel a little bit like an analytic philosophy word.
It's the exact opposite.
I was explicitly warned from getting into the philosophy of time for just this reason, so this is awesome.
It's all nonsense, man.
Yeah, everything I need to know about time I learned from Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
What is that?
It's a series of like short YouTube videos that are like ostensibly like Sesame Street like puppet kind of videos that get real upsetting very quickly.
That's awesome.
The second one is about time.
That's cool. That sounds like something Tim would like.
Sounds like a real Cholt video.
You're not
It'll
wrong.
jolt you up.
You're not wrong.
Alright, fam. Well, that was scary and cool.
That's what I was going for.
Hey,
Straight.
Yo, the balance of the horde and like how it rushed in, that all felt really dope.
I was pretty convinced it was never going to end and we had to find a way to like do something to end it.
Yeah. I was worried you guys would start metagaming and trying, like, alright,
Looking for the spawn points.
yeah. Yep.
Like
It
especially
would have
because
been hilarious though if Taryn
Accent-
decided that something did have to happen to Hildy's body, and so like mid-fight, just turns around, like blasts it to smithereens, and the rest of the group like, the fuck just happened?
well, my metagaming mind wanted to because she had been added to the turn order, so I thought like, oh shit, she's gonna just rise up halfway through it as like a lich or something.
Yeah.
But
No, she's just a body.
I think she would be too righteous to do so.
Yeah, well, this is fun. I'm glad we're getting into the thick of it. I'm glad you're enjoying the time puzzles. It took a lot of effort to make sure it made sense. So, I promise you it does, at least in my head.
Well, I'm watching 12 Monkeys tonight, man, to celebrate. This is crazy.
12 Monkeys would be a good one for this.
Well, all right, y'all. Good luck with
All right.
Yeah.
whatever you got coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck with this.